Oh, yes, people. Oh, yes, what a wonderful one it is. You are watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. We go 1 hour, but it could go a little further if it does get a little hotter. Shout out to everyone out there working. Shout out to everyone that grabbed my car today and subscribed to my channel today. The other drivers out there that I have met. Good luck out there doing things. Just met a driver that's been doing Uber Eats for about 2 months. He said he likes driving from here where I live in the desert. He spends that hour drive going down the 60 West. He goes down there and he hits LA and he says he likes working in Santa Monica and Malibu down there. He's making money, so I let him know about an app that is owned right there. Since he's spending most of the time, he wouldn't have to go ahead and multi-app with any of the other ones because this one pays double what they pay. So I dropped him in on that. If you are in the LA area, and you would like to know what app I'm speaking of, you got to go ahead and send me a message, and then I'll go ahead and let you know if you're really trying to make some extra money out there on this thing. Today is an open link, open pin link. It is up there for anyone to speak. We had a great show yesterday. Thank you to Sin City Deliveries. Came on in and did their thing. Appreciate everything. The BC family, how you doing? How you doing? I'll let you know when you're going to be able to come on up. John Paul, how's it doing? How you doing, cousin? How you doing, cousin? Doing great. We are here today to take care of this. I want to give a special shout out to Sin City Deliveries for representing himself well on the other platforms and then came here and did his thing. It was funny because directly after Pedro came in here and spoke in the chat but did not want to come up here, and I said Hannibal never said anything. So Hannibal has a little show, and Pedro goes on there. And this is why I said, is Pedro retired? Is Pedro going to retire? What's up, James? Guy, people, once again. Now, see, that's a perfect segment right there, James, because I like to let people know how I do my thing on the Share and Grow. This is a gentleman that I have conducted an interview with. He has explained what the Share and Go process is. If you would like to meet new people out there, meet different communities that you can get involved with, and people can actually see that you have a good channel and you're not going to be stereotyped or any of this other things, head over to James Guy. This is a man with the plan, and he knows what he is doing. Him and his old lady, what he likes to say, him and his old lady Sam, they have a really good system going on. You go there, you show some love, and just like, he came here on the interview, I am a participant on his thing right there, and he came in here and showed a little bit of love. We got community love for everyone out there because we are all on YouTube, okay? We are all on YouTube. One big happy family, one big great hug. So check this out. Sin City Deliveries, he did his thing, but then Hannibal, he has his thing, and Pedro, he hops on there. And it sound like a wounded someone that like just got, when you get beat up, you watch a boxing fight and they're trying to interview the boxer right after he got thumped up and he just does not know what to say. It was kind of disturbing, but I was happy. I was happy to see him shell shocked because this is what he had to say after all of the facts that Sin City, first of all the facts that I bring to the table, and then everything that my team does and the group that we have working together, DoorDash Revolution and Ghost and TFT and everybody else out there. Jada Kanza is out there in DC, and he's always throwing it in. Ricky Knight is always throwing it in. We have a team and we have data, but they ignore our team and our data. So Sin City went in there with a full arsenal of data. Now, I want to let you guys know this. When Sin City Delivery, Richard, when he came on here, he was giving something that I did not give you guys. He actually broke down the chart. So I was actually able to bring everybody else down so he can do his chart to show you exactly what I have been saying with words and what he has been saying with words. He got an opportunity to display the whole chart and break it all down. Okay. Now, he gets on Hannibal, and these guys, every time they ask him a question, it was like they ganged up on him. And it's funny because they'll speak to him one by one in solo where it's him against like 5 or 6. But when he's on this channel right here, and you guys can come and talk and join in an open link, you guys do not. The firepower that man possesses with his team, teamed up with me and my team, you guys don't want that smoke at all, because he's bringing you the actual factuals. And what's really funny is he said, if you don't want to do the research, find someone that will, and then get your research off of them. He even said you can do it that way. And every single time he came up and he spoke yesterday, you guys tried to go ahead and cut him off halfway, not even halfway through his personal presentation that he spends time and effort in to do the research, the calculations, the equations. He did all of that to help the gig economy, and not even halfway through it, you cut him off and giggled about it. See, I noticed these things because what you guys are trying to do to this dude, you guys tried to do to me, and I beat you guys up. John Paul says, going live about 6 p.m. tonight. You guys are trying to pull him by himself to weaken him and beat him up. But that's why I talked to him and I let him know I've been going through this for 6 months, and you guys will not even come and step in light. You know, like on The Lion King, they told the cubs that Mufasa said, everything that the light shines on is ours, right? And he said, boom, over there, we do not go there at all. Now, I'm over there. Okay, I'm over there. They know that they have the majority of everyone. They have the majority of everyone. So the paradise and the light shines all on them. But they are afraid to go over there. You know, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? You know what I mean? How they say, oh, no, don't do all that. I am over there. I am over there. That's where I am. They know not to come over there. So they try to single the dude out. And every single time he got a chance to say something, they tried to cut him off to then ask more questions. So he can't even go back to finish what he was originally saying. And they what I'm speaking on, it was on Flex's channel last night. He got on there and he was trying not to be disrespectful to anyone. And see, he's new to you guys. So he's coming in with that first respect that I said that I had. And you guys start doing way too much. I have to nip that in the bud. He's doing that, and I'm seeing that he's doing that, and you guys are trying to rip him down. But the difference is with this, there is no way to rip him down because I have the data and I have the proof and I have everything that can back it up. Okay, I have everything that can back it up. John Paul says he made $3,500 for the Children's Hospital today during a 35-mile walk. Now that's doing something for the people. That's doing something for the people. Man, Brother Ricky says people have opinions and also lie about those numbers. You know, that's what they do. They do that to make it look good. But here's the thing. This is all I do. And I have only been working, so I have years of data of this. He actually went and had it broken down on the chart for you guys. I've been giving it to you straight verbally. He has the chart, and they match up equally. That's why when he was on, when I was speaking, and then when he broke, I was speaking the chart, and he was like, yes, that's here. That's here. When I was speaking, he has the chart for, okay? And they are still going against the information that he has. Now, the craziest thing about the information that they are going off of is that the information that he is going off of, they have it written in, it's written in the actual factual that they give you. You know, when they give you the pamphlet to get a job and they say, here's the pamphlet, everything that's in the pamphlet is there. Like when people don't know about their employee rights or what they get as far as how long they've been working, everything is in that is inside the employee handbook. They tell you this inside the employee handbook. So from the employee handbook that they have given out, we have people that said that even though the company that we are going to contract with, we think they're lying about the literature that they are giving to us. First of all, they think that's a lie. Now you have someone that said that he used to think it was a lie too. Then he actually went and did all of this research. He said he did it their way for like a year and a half. He spoke about this also. He said, I have a year and a half of data on the app, the driver utility helper app. That's Gary's app. He said he has a year and a half of data stored on there that he also used to come up with this thing. So he used their data, their information from the technology, from the creator of the app. He used his database to then go ahead to do his study on. And even though he used the database and the stats over a year and a half from the creator's app, and the creator and app, they're all on one team, they still deny and say that his stats are, they tried to come up with everything. But he's even using your software for information to help him do this. So at some point, you gotta start understanding something here. And Bud Soda, I really wish you hop up. You guys over there keep saying I have gotten to Top Dasher. Okay. And you say I still see crappy orders. You say you still see crappy orders. Okay. There is a difference from seeing and accepting the order from the plateau that you got yourself up to, and doing the order, accepting it, and seeing what happens. You have to accept it and put yourself into the algorithm, because if you just get there and you are still with that same mindset of turning down the orders off of just seeing the number there, the algorithm is not going to place you in the line anyway. That is what we are talking about. Okay, so Bud Soda, you can come on up and do your multi-apping, because every time they bring someone up to talk, like they brought up Sin City, whenever you get a chance to speak, somebody else on your team will cut you off because they know what you're saying is nonsense. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give you the airplay so you can speak, and they don't just cut you off. That's that there. UDM asked him a bunch of questions. This dude has all the data, like 30 questions. He was coming with the questions, and my man was answering every single thing that he was almost allowed to answer, because they'll cut in. Someone will come in here when he's halfway through it. Someone will come in here, and then they're like getting bits and pieces, and then Hannibal is giggling and laughing, and they're making light of the whole thing. Like, man, we just can't really believe that people are actually doing what the handbook says. And they're actually seeing that it works out. Now, he was on the other side. I have known what it is for 7 years. So I've been waiting for people to come and see this. So this is like Christmas for me. It's like seeing all these different waves pop on up. I'm like, woo, we got them now. What's up, DoorDash Revolution? I'm like, we have them now. We have all the information. And Pedro got to the point to where there's so much information. People, this is what Pedro was saying on UDM's thing. Well, I've done a lot for the gig community. I did this on purpose. I purposely brought people on my channel so people can see there's a difference, so people can know what's out there. No, that's a straight up lie. Because when I went on there, you guys tried to ban me out. You got a lot of people to unsubscribe to my channel. You guys were saying I'm a clown. Don't listen. You don't bring people up who have a difference of opinion so that everyone else can see. You bring them up there with your masses so everyone else can see. Then you guys start throwing, like you're the Philadelphia Eagles fans. You're throwing beers and everything down onto the field at them to make them not want to go ahead and do that again. But you're picking on the wrong people this time. And he sees that, though. He sees that all the way. He was like, well, I've done that purposely. I've been doing this for the gig economy so that it can be it's a better place. And, these people are hating. These people are hating. And, this is what I mean by haters. They're going to hate. But, hey, keep doing it. You guys are putting more money in my pocket. Now, doesn't that sound like a statement from someone that's been defeated? Man, you know what? You guys just keep talking. You just put more money in my pocket. No, but you got to come with some facts. We've let you get up here and speak and humiliate the people and do all of that. Which brings my question. Is Pedro Doordash Santiago retiring? What I mean is, people, you got to understand, is he going to stop calling customers clowns and miserable human beings? Are you going to see that part of Pedro? Are you guys going to see that part soften? Is he going to retire from doing that? Is he going to retire from doing a lot of DoorDash and doing more of the people driving, what he's doing now? and doing the Instacart and the Walmart Spark? Is he going to retire a bit from the DoorDash? That's what I mean. He was pretty much giving up yesterday, saying, well, I've done so much, not I do. The information that comes out on my side, none of his side or anyone even brings it up to the table. Okay, they don't even bring it up to the table. Like I have right now, I have four delivery driver news articles that we're gonna go off on. That we're gonna do. The Amazon delivery driver goes off over 180 stop day. We're gonna look at that. We have a delivery driver shoots a man who allegedly came at him with a knife. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this delivery driver arrested on suspicion of sexual assault. We're going to talk about that. You see, I bring up gig news. These people who are driving are part of the gig economy. I bring up this stuff. That's why I bring up everything that's out there. You can't just try to have no tip, no trip, or no drive, or whatever the hell you're trying to do and try to paint the narrative that this is what all of the drivers out there are trying to do. One of the main things that you guys failed to mention, which is why I tagged UDM and all these other people in there. And by the way, people, if you guys would like to see a panel, and I mean a real panel, these people say that they're trying to be grown men. Look at the poll that I put up there. Okay, look at the poll. Would you like to see a panel with Sin City Deliveries, HotFacts, Pedro, UDM, the Money Boys, Rideshare Rodeo, and DoorDash Revolution? Wouldn't that be an awesome panel right there? Now, I would like to add in, because if you see how I tagged everyone else inside this thing, I tagged Pete, Paid to Drive. I tagged Your Driver Mike. I tagged the one that no one refused. They all refused to bring up Bentley Coupe, and he has majority of the subscribers in the whole market. If you bring in Bentley Coupe and Your Driver Mike, they have all of these subscribers. How come you guys don't want to bring these guys into the panels? I have reached out to these dudes before, when I had like 200 subs. Obviously, these dudes were like, whoop, whoop, whoop. I'll give Pedro respect on that. He came at me when I had 30 subscribers. I'll give him credit for that. He knew real, when it was real. He also let his fans know, his subscribers know, that I was coming on the show, and he said he's an OG in the game, and he dropped some real knowledge. I've checked him out. That's what he said out his mouth before he started hating. Okay, so that's how you know I'm real. So I'm waiting to get a response from Bentley Coupe, because he's been telling people to work with the thing for DoorDash for the longest. He's got 300,000 subscribers. How come no one wants to bring him in? The only person that tried to bring him in was Hannibal. And Hannibal has videos up trying to trash the dude, saying that he's a corporate shill, because DoorDash was like, man, we like the way your videos are. That's how we want our drivers, man. Here goes some gas cards. Here goes some gift cards. Yeah, Uber Eats, do that. Spark, Uber Eats, yes, please give me those. I want those. I want that. So Bentley Coupe goes and bashes him because the actual corporation of the place that you pick up for, they want to interact with him and treat him well. You know what we call that? That's called driver. That's called driver to your client relation. That's business to business relations. He has got to the highest level of the business to business relations in DoorDash, because they will say, hey, keep doing that. We see your videos, good work. We like the image. We have other people like Pedro, when they will not do an interview with them, because Uber won't even do an interview with Sergio. So you know that DoorDash is not going to do an interview with Pedro, because he's the antichrist when it comes down to this whole gig market. Even though his social blade said that he's had a social blade for like 12 years. So I don't know like what he was doing before that, but his social blade says he's had a social blade for 12 years. What it do? My big bro right there. It's my big bro right there. You know what I mean? We got to get a panel up there with all of us on it. It makes no sense for you guys to my link is here. These guys are watching it because when I watch their channel, they said, I've watched that, and Pat and Hannibal throw shots. Everyone that's saying here, he said that right in front of Sin City, and he's giving you his data. So you told the man straight to his face that he's not sane. And I was hoping he was going to say something about that, because my man is very, very smart. But see, he's trying to give you guys that respect. But here's where I don't. Come at him again like that and call and say he's insane to his face again.
Do it like that on camera again. I'm calling you suckers out. Do it like that again. I was watching that for the ones who are sane. So he's not sane. I'm not sane because we are actually doing what they wrote. It's like if someone said, here's a book, read this book, and here, read this book. It's gonna help you increase your per dollar average per hour for your deliveries. And if they give you the book and you don't read the book, like, man, ain't nothing inside that book. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. There's information inside that book. Open it up and take in what applies. My mom says, if it don't apply, let it fly. And I hate that I say that because that's what she says. But it's the truth. And you guys are just sitting up here like to his face. And this came from Cannibal. I told you people, Cannibal feeds off everyone's thing. When I said that he didn't even say anything, and I put the pressure on him because I said his defense is whack. He got that Aaron McKee defense, that horrible defense, just not good at all. He waits until, the very next day to then try to do his thing and get Pedro up there. I said he sucks off of Pedro. He feeds off of him. He gets Pedro on there to speak on it just a little bit, and Pedro got out. Then Cannibal goes and gets the guy that was on the rideshare rodeo, and he was just letting him know it works for this when you do it like this. And then they even tried to mix up his stuff. Now let me tell you what they're doing. Now they're trying to separate. This is so funny. They're trying to separate the people that do it. Like me, I do it for forever. I don't turn it off. I'm like Russell Westbrook. I don't turn off the engine. I do it forever. Then they're saying, well, I see if you want to do it for just a little bit of the time, just to do this. I get that. So now they're saying doing it a little bit of the time, they can kind of see how doing it a little bit would help. Well, don't you think if doing it a little bit of the time helps, if someone did it for the whole existence, don't you think that for the whole existence, for the whole month, that person is going to continuously get it instead of not getting it, instead of just getting it for a certain amount of time? Like, I don't understand that, and it makes no sense. What's up, DoorDash Rick? TFT says what Sin City does is what I have been doing since I started. And I did that without YouTube. Yeah, and then you get people saying, no disrespect to Flex because I'm cool with Flex. Flex said, because he has a Discord and he charges for his Discord. And people, that's what a Discord is for. You get a Discord for paying people, Discords and Patreon accounts for people that really want to get that stuff. The DoorDash Revolution has on his channel, people, he has the courses that breaks these things down, and people pay for that, and he breaks these things down with people, and that's how he builds his team. He's doing the exact same thing. He knows the information. So yes, if you really want to know the information that I have, I know is valuable, and it could be priceless because we can't quantify exactly how much money you are going to be making. So it's like priceless. So yes, as a real independent contractor and a business owner, why would I not try to make money on my class? And I can use this to write it off because it is through a Discord. I can use this to write it off for my 1099 and everything that I else have that I coming in through here. I can write that off and have me being a successful, productive business. What he's doing is he's breaking down the exact science in school for people who actually want to know. There's a guy who gets on here and does taxes and everything, an Asian guy that I follow. He breaks down every single thing that's coming down for the state of California. He's a CPA. He went to law school. He does his own thing, and he puts it up here. And if you want the other information, us as teachers, obviously we're not going to give you everything, but we'll cover enough from the outside so that the real stuff that you want to go deep into, where you got to use your brain to really know how to get the science out, you got to pay for that. When people ask me for nutritional tips, I'll give them the basic stuff that you'll hear on every single infomercial. But then when they really want to know about TTMA, TBF, and they really want me to break down my program and my science, now you're getting my expertise. You got to pay for that. I'm a real independent contractor. They were trying to say, well, what information does he have to go out and have people pay for? But why don't you go ahead and take a class? If you know that there's a class out there that's going to help you build up in a certain way, you pay for that. That's what you do. You guys want people to just tip you for no reason. That's why you guys won't go over there and do it. He extended the hand to give you guys a VIP. go over there and get it for free. But you guys don't want this these facts. These facts can absolutely help you. Like Bud Soda. Check this out, people. And Bud Soda could be the person that everyone can just shut up. Just like Bud, this is how you are going to help the gig economy, Bud. O'Doyle rules. We're going to give this to Bud Soda. This is what I mean by this right here. Bud Soda, for the people that don't know, is trying to hit $100,000 this year from doing the gig apps. He wants to hit $100,000. We don't know where he is now, but I did a video live and I was trying to encourage him to keep his goal, and he thought I was hating on him. Well, now, Bud, you know, like when I said, you know, are you the butt of your own joke? Now we can let you prove some facts. If you're trying to hit 100 grand and hit the level that few drivers have done with doing the gig apps, you have gone half the year with doing it your way. This is the perfect data to even have less data to go ahead and see. Get yourself that top dasher, do your thing, and see exactly how much money you are going to make now for the end of the year, because we know you're not going to hit 100K right now. So at least use the rest of these months to use top dasher for all the rest of this year, and we can use Bud Soda's money. But do we trust Bud to absolutely do it, though? The only way we can trust him is if he shows his ratings and everything on there right now. Bud, we can use you to help out the gig economy right now, because no one wants to listen to you. This would be the way for you to you can get everyone to listen to you, Bud. You can fill in just like that. You can fill in just like that. You can do it. Yeah, they're freeloaders. They want fire sales. You know, when you play Black Ops and you play zombies, they want that fire sale. Fire sale. They want that fire sale. They want to go there and just pick a weapon out and then go get busy. You can't do that. And when Pedro said, well, you know, they're all hating, and this is what I mean by they're hating. No, we're not hating. We've been trying to give you some information. You're still trying to shut down the other side. But by you saying, well, as long as they keep talking, they're still going to be putting money in my pocket. Well, here's the thing that's going to happen. The more we keep talking, and we have damn near scientists straight down, but beside us, it's kind of like this. DoorDash Revolution is back there. He's got the real top secret info. Sin City and them. Sin City's got the actual. We're about to break this down, and I got the mouthpiece with the know-how to bring it straight to you guys for that delivery. We got all of that. So as long as we keep delivering it like this, we're going to get more and more people that are going to start seeing. Mike N has already said that once he start getting his Spark orders, his Spark ratings up, he gets orders right after he's done how I do. He said that didn't happen. It's got him to look into other apps also. So we're going to be helping people all over. So the more we help people, and the more people that are going to say, man, you know what? It's been benefiting me. That's not making you money. It's going to be like, why were you giving these people the wrong information? You could have helped so many people. But this is what it does, people. People get caught up in that negative light, and they want to ride that wave, which is why he calls them miserable human beings. Now I want to know, is he going to stop this, since he knows that customers do care? And it's based around the customer and the business. It's not based around the driver. Is he going to still call these horrible, miserable human beings? Is he going to make up all of these names? And is he going to trash a lot of drivers that are doing this? Because I tell you this, he told me out of his own mouth, I challenged you to start declining more orders because I feel you're missing out. That's what he told me. He told me to do something negative all the way because it's going to help me out. He says he feels that I am missing out because I'm not declining enough orders. Like, he's been telling me this from the whole jump. That's like telling the kid, don't learn how to read. Don't learn how to read. You're never going to need it. Like, that's exactly what it is. He's been on this, and he's been riding that wave, and it's slapping him in the face right now because he can go live. Pedro can go live right now. He can go live right now, right? He's going to get a whole bunch of people over there, right? You know why? Because a lot of them deep down inside are going over there because they're trying to hear him really address, you know, what we are breaking down. And since he won't come on anything, like, he went on, he had Sin City going there, but he was still like the narrator. He was able to stop him and cut him off. As you see here, I let you go. No time limit. Bud Soda and Flex are old dogs that will never change in life. You have to adjust. But see, now, the only thing is, though, Flex has a point to his side. This is where no one can mess with Flex on what he is talking about. Flex is never going to leave the super metro area. So we can just move Flex aside. Flex is super metro area. We leave Flex alone. We put Flex in the. If I was doing this and I was living in Orange County or Long Beach, I wouldn't even want to put my numbers out there because I'm in a super metro area. Super metro. Like, people are going to be like, oh my goodness. But we have a lot of people that don't, they still think like this and driving, and they don't drive in those areas also. But as far as, Bud Soda is stuck on stupid. Are you serious? He doesn't have anything to back up anything that he does except that he'll dirty app on a Walmart Spark order, and something always bad happens to Bud Soda. Something always bad happens to Bud Soda. Last night, they were like, oh, something bad happened to Bud Soda. They crack jokes out of it because he's always negative. Something's always terrible. They did this to him. Oh, man, I have to go. I have to wait 5 minutes. And, it just sucked because, I'm getting paid for all this, but I ended up doing it anyway. I had to do a stack on this one, double stack that one. I kept this one, but, I didn't want to go because there's so many drivers. It's super saturated in that area. I can't go there and make money. It's not worth it. That's Bud Soda in a nutshell. Everything is negative. Everything, and something bad always happens to him. Like, if we have like a sitcom, and this is like, how like you have The Office or Parks and Rec, Bud Soda would be Bud Soda, and he looks like the dude with the mustache too, from Talladega Nights and stuff. Bud Soda, they'll be like, that's Bud Soda. Something always happens to him. That's Bud Soda. So he's always negative. So I don't know what we can take from him except him doing the challenge and actually just putting it on, just doing it there. Jada Kansas said North New Jersey. He said North New Jersey is packed with restaurants. He said I love New Jersey. That's where Flex is, people. Super Metro. Jada Kansas can vouch for it. TFT says today 3 hours, $94, and would have done more, but have to break. Exactly. Right now I'm on my break. $132 I did on Walmart Spark in 3 hours. Okay. So when I go do my Uber Eats tonight, when I go do my Uber Eats orders only tonight, and I get those 6 points to make sure I hit Diamond Driver, I'm going to go and do the Uber Eats and be up there at that 200 mark. I worked 3 hours earlier, and I'm only going to go out there a little bit later and do about 5 hours total, 5.5 hours total for the whole day. Okay, get it in. That's where I say, people, 30 hours, you should be able to hit this. That's why Sin City broke it down, 25 point this many hours, I should be able to hit 950 something dollars. That's what he broke it down to. We didn't even go over that, but my numbers on how I do my thing and how I broke them down are $50 off from the numbers that he uses all of Gary's apps and everything for. I do it all in my head, and I go with the practical and a live case study. But I keep all the information in my head. And my information was only $50 off of what his data was. So that lets me know that, now that's letting other people know, like, and that's all it is. But I would love to see that question in the panel. Would you guys to love? And this is why I want all of us up there. Because UDM is not like he's not like a no tip, no trip guy. He's about what I see. That's what I take it for. You know what I mean? That's what he takes it for. So going behind the scenes with the data and everything might be, that's why he had so many questions. But see, that's why I would love UDM up there, because he's his own entity and personality, and this is what he believes. You got the no tip, no trip guys who believe that the pamphlet and doing this does not work at all. They gave us false literature to make us drive. They think that. You got people like the DoorDash Revolution And I think Gary Middleton might be in this group too. I think Gary Middleton might be in this group. They understand that a market can have a ton of top dashers. Then that's where you have to learn to cherry pick and go against that. So that's why they say in some markets, top dasher doesn't work, because some markets is oversaturated with top dashers, and then you have to try to do other things. But they still agree that it can work, but in some markets, they don't need it because the top dasher is oversaturated. That's why I want them in there. Then you have people like me in Sin City who ride with the whole thing. That's why if you look at that panel, you get people from all sides of the spectrum that can agree on a good part, but now we got to bring in this stuff, because now if we have all of these heads who are putting out knowledge out there and people are paying attention to, if a lot of people can see that a lot of these people are agreeing and they're breaking it down with facts, this is how you help the gig community. This is what I am trying to do. But you guys are afraid to get up and speak, because the data and how real independent contractoring and being your own boss, you have to do it this way in order to see it work. You guys don't want to do that. You guys are not even willing to come to the table, and you guys keep saying you're trying to do things to better the gig economy. I have been setting tables up to have all types of people on here come and talk about it. You guys see how me and Cody, Alaskan Gigging Guns, you guys see how it's, look, did we get up here and go at each other like that? No, we spoke to each other. The only bashing goes on when you guys run like this, like cowards. This is when I pull out that Pootie Tang whip on you, because it's nonsense. You'll get a guy like me that's like literally, you see me hop in your lives and your chats. I put all my text in capitals, so you know I'm there. You guys look to the right. I see you. You look to the right. You see I'm there. And you guys refuse to let me on, because you guys, like Hannibal said, he said, well, you see how I heard that and I didn't get angry at you even try to yell. First of all, brother, let's get why me and you we just don't mix. You're a girl to me. You called me a girl first. Let me just tell you, you came, talked about me real good, said I'm going to give you your flowers now. Yeah, you were giving me my flowers now because you were going to try to backstab me in the back. You did that, then you come on to my live and start bashing me in my own live. That's why you think I'm going to yell at you. I'm not going to yell at you. Jake the Snake Roberts said a wise man does not have to yell. That was Jake the Snake Roberts. He was one of my favorites. He talked real low. He talked real. That's Jake the Snake. I don't got to yell at you, Hannibal. All the videos that I put up and back me up on why I'm the people's champ and what I do, that's enough right there. That's the yelling right there. You hate the videos. That's screaming at you. That's the yelling right there. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. The screaming can stay over there. You're supposed to be a man that's married. Last time I thought, when you're married, you have a backbone. And if we were in the old Western days and I called you out like this for a conversation, and you didn't even walk out there to the middle of the courtyard, first of all, they're going to go steal your cows, steal your woman, they're going to steal your kids, and make you be the water boy. If we were in the 300 days, Sparta, and I said this, they would cast you out. I'm going to take you to South Africa, to the Zulus. If you ever want to shock the Zulus tribes, and you turn down, this is not even physical or anything, and you turn down the conversation, you were looked at as a weenie. If you are a gang member and someone asks you where you're from and you don't say anything, your own homies are going to beat you up. You're a weenie. You're a weenie. If you ask a politician a direct question and they don't even answer it, people start bashing them because they won't even come up to speak to the people. That's why me and you have an issue. You're not a man. You talk and throw shots on your channel. You're not a man. You won't even come split screen. Like, and I'll promise, I won't even look. I'll let you talk just how you were doing with Sin City. That's what I want. But I want him on the screen. I want to have a good panel on the screen. I want a mixed panel like that because everyone is not going to be on the same side. So it's going to make you not have to be buddy-buddy with the people you're trying to be buddy-buddy with. That's called real unbiasedness. I don't know about any of you guys trying to do this and bring stuff to the table. Like right now, I have an open link. Not one of you guys, well, I know you guys want to. You guys are like burning on the inside. But not one of you guys are like, man, damn it. You know what? Man, enough is enough. Not one of you guys are saying that because you guys are scary and weenies. Wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Scary and weenies. Jelly bellies. Jada Kanza. I've made easy money on low subtotal orders on DoorDash. Yes. Now, here is what the funniest thing is. They still say that, yeah, but you're still going to get a crappy order. They think that the DoorDash, and this is why I think these people are crazy and they call us insane and stuff. They think the DoorDash app is supposed to stop you from ordering if you live too close and if you're not going to order enough. They think the app is supposed to stop you from ordering so the order doesn't even go in the system. They think that every single person that orders is going to order a family meal, and you can even use Pedro Doordash Santiago for this one. He orders a live Uber Eats or DoorDash or order every single time he goes live. How many of you guys see Pedro ordering family meals? He asks his girl, you want something? I'm going to do an order. No? What do you guys think I should order? I have not seen any of you guys say, hey, well, you know what? If you're going to order from this place, order the $75 thing. And since you like since you do a tip and you say you give a tip, let's do your tip based upon that $75 ahead of time. And let's see you do this order. Let's do this order. Not you guys aren't even telling him to do how people say large order programs and see who comes and stuff. He can actually order a really large order and see what driver comes. He can even do the large order, turn on his app, and let you guys see if he gets the order on the large order program with the order that he is going to place. And he can pick the place that's closest to where he lives. He hasn't even done that. But he can actually show that to you guys. But you guys are not even asking him the right questions as his subscribers. You got to question yourselves as believers. Jada Kansas says people will order chicken nuggets with fries and then a single drink from 7-Eleven. Makes no sense, but those orders are bangers sometimes. Yes, you know why? Because that parent, they don't cook at home. They don't have time to go on out, and they got to feed those kids. So they're going to give you tips on that. DoorDash Revolution says, I agree. It's time to have a real conversation with these content creators. Exactly. Alaska says the crew will come in, fire shots, and essentially run out. They don't want to have any meaningful discussion. Yes, you gotta have look, and I'm gonna keep using me and Cody, people. That's why I wish Cody you would have kept the video, and this would have made a beautiful history right here, Cody. This would have made beautiful history. You guys would have seen the video that he did about me. You would have saw my response to him, and then you would have saw me and him get on here, and he damn near had me crying. I had to end my life. You would have saw that and see how we represent each other and help each other out. That's what I mean by meaningful conversation. No one would have ever saw that coming. A lot of people on the other side are probably looking at, well, we didn't like Cody and Giggs and them anyway. You know, like because we had a meaningful conversation. These people don't want that. They don't want to do that because they have painted a narrative and they have dug the trenches in for this narrative, and they have been throwing things down and filling these stockpiles up so much that they can't come over. This is who they are. If they change their narrative, they're going to look like the largest hypocrites of all time inside their own heads. But in reality, it's going to show that everyone can learn, and everyone can learn for the better. They're not even trying to look at that part of the positivity on them trying to use some of these things. But check this out, low key, because the driven dad already said that I'm actually going to do it, and I'm actually going to take the orders so that, you know, I can actually have a better understanding, because I love Tony's data. Me and Tony don't talk like that no more because he's on the other side. You know, I don't like to have people feel weird, but his whole crew is over there. I have nothing against him. I have never said nothing bad against the man. I love his data, and I still watch his videos. He breaks down numbers when it comes down on that Tesla better than anyone. I would love for him to absolutely do it and actually take the orders. Now, what I mean actually take the orders, you can get people that'll say they took the orders and they won't do them, and they won't show you on their videos. I want to see someone that's going to take the orders and actually show the ratings and the numbers and all of that. I would love for him to go ahead and do that, you know, but he's caught in the crossfire too. They got Kim side money plans in the crossfire. They got a bunch of, like, when Rideshare Rodeo did his thing, and that I forget the gentleman's name, the Detroit guy or deliveries guy, he went up there and was breaking it down, and their eyes crossed. They were like cross-eyed. Like, are you serious? He's saying this stuff? Like, they all got just like, boom. And that struck a nerve with them, that, you know, like, it's really going on like this. And Cannibal was not on there. It was the other black dude that I'm cool with, John Theory TV. John breaks down numbers and everything else like that too. So it's really good for John to have been on there and all that other stuff. But, you know, Cannibal was not there, which is why after I was like, man, when Cannibal hopped in the chat but didn't want to hop on the screen, and they let Bud Soda speak for him and kill it, and then Flex was going off of what he does, and that doesn't even help them at all. But once Cannibal was like, dang, they put me on the spot, I didn't say nothing, that's when he had the fake heart to bring Pedro up there. But even then, he didn't have Pedro up there for the whole time, or Pedro had to leave, because he already knows once questions start coming up here inside this box, most of these people, how they were ignoring the DoorDash revolution, they ignore me, they ignore DoorDash Rick and other people when they write inside these things. I watch this. Once I am monetized, people, and I am 700 hours away now, people, I'm getting 100 hours each day. Like I said, 2 weeks. I gave myself 10 days from the spot, 10 to 14 days. I will be monetized. And I have a system for this so people can speak and be heard. Whoever is going to be in the chat, once the super chat is activated there, if you want your question to be answered by the people on the panel that I have, whatever donation you put in for that super chat and your question has to be read on the spot and it has to be answered by the people on the panel right then and there. I already have that rule in place for when I'm monetized. The language, people are going to have to come and not use the language. Like, you know, I'm going to have to talk to Roy a little bit. You know, talking to Roy, that's like telling, you guys used to watch Police Academy. That's like telling Tackleberry he can't carry all the guns. You know what I'm saying? You can carry some, so I'm going to have to talk to Roy about that a little bit. But when I'm monetized, I am absolutely going to stop that stuff there. But then that's going to be the process so people can absolutely be heard instead of being ignored there in the comment section. When I see a blue thing, a donation, that's a super chat, that's a quick question. It's instantly read, and we have to respond to that there. So everyone's going to have a chance to speak. That's how it's going to go on this channel here. I will not let people sit there writing questions and not get them up there. It's hard right now for me, you know, to see them all, because I like to speak a whole lot. So it's hard for me to like look here and look there. But right now, I'm going on now. TFT says his last year. He says my last order for my lunch run was to a lady in a rest home. It was only $3.50 order. The staff were so happy that I was there. They gave me a $10 tip. So that turned into $13.50. He knocked that out. Okay. Bam. JD, they're probably high. Ghost. Okay, then tell me why when I take low orders, I get high tips most of the time. Now, when you go out there and you take low orders and you get high tips, now, like Ghost is in the market where they're oversaturated with top dashers. Okay, so he still works with the algorithm, so he's in the algorithm. So while he's getting his orders, he's still going to get orders, and people are just not smart and they let him go ahead and do their thing. Plus, he understands business. So when you understand business first and all this other stuff, you're going to start making more. That's why it goes there. Well, that's my opinion. That's not why. That's my opinion. All I care about is dollar to miles. Tips only matter to an extent. Yes, that is true, which is why UDM, I would love him to be on that panel, because UDM says at face value, if I see it and I accept it at face value, then that's what I know I'm going to get. That tip, like Jada Kanza is saying, is extra. It's non-existent to a point. That they have worked out math in their head, and they know. Okay. TFT says also had a great repeat customer today. 2 restaurants about an hour apart. Now, people, the repeat customers, the regulars, your regular clientele. Here's where a lot of drivers don't learn how to calculate their money. Look at the address that you drop off to and count how many times a week. Some places I drop off multiple times a day to some houses. They have roommates that live in that house, and they all order. Okay, 4 different names, same address. Okay, you got to figure out how much money is coming out of that address per week. That's how you know what each customer is worth to you. How many times are you dropping off to that customer? Then you got to put in throughout the week, you got to do your stats like this. Every order is not going to be a large, high-paying order from every customer every time they order. How many times does this address order? Well, they have, notice they have 4 kids. So almost all their orders, it's like a big order at McDonald's or Burger King or Sizzler. Everything is going to be a big, medium-sized order. You know that they do some small orders because they have kids in that house. You now got to figure out how many times in that week, then you go to the month, are they bringing it? And then you break it down, man. So that house right there, this house by itself is bringing me in $300 a month, just this house by itself. You got people that don't agree with what we do, and they'll say, man, that house, man, they don't look like they're going to tip. Man, let me give them a thumbs down. I'm never going back there. You just lost yourself money there. Look at how many times you order if you don't order, or if you've never done this stuff. You got to look at yourself. You got to look at each house, each name. How much money do I make off of this client, this person? I know I'm going to see this person 4 times this week. Yes, these are regular customers because the algorithm, they're giving you thumbs up. The merchant's probably giving you thumbs up. Your ratings are always high. That's why you see these customers all the time. I run into different drivers all the time. And they are like, when I'm in my area, you know how you see drivers driving by on the streets and stuff, like, okay, someone's dropping off. You don't see the Uber people. You don't see them. You see me, my wife, and there's like 3 more that go up to my hotspot. And my rookie Tony now is getting busy. Because most people are doing the DoorDash like that. I'm rolling through my neighborhoods like I'm all the way free. And my wife is out driving right now. We don't even drive at the same time. I pass on an order to her if I have one, and she's like, I'm getting ready to leave. I'll be like, all right, I'll be home and I'll be like in the area in 5 or 6 minutes. She'll say, okay, she'll turn on her app. I'll reassign that thing. It'll go straight to her. I'm gonna keep that money in my family too. I'm gonna keep that money right there. But my wife doesn't drive when I drive. So right now when she's out, she's the highest rated driver out right now. She's getting all those orders. She drives when it's dead time. Okay? Here's how you know it works. My wife drives when it's dead time. She doesn't drive all the way in lunch. She leaves at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Sometimes she'll leave at like 12, 4:45. She drives when it's the dead time. And she pulls it in. You know why? Because she's the highest rated driver. Now, Gary was saying last night on Flex thing, well, you know, it's a 40-mile area here in my zone. He said the 600 something thousand people where I live. Gary, the city next to me, Riverside, that's cracking off, 393,000 people. The city that I live in by itself, 117,000 people. The city right next door that I pick up from in my triangle has like 60,000 people. Your market is bigger. I was glad you said that. Your market like 600,000 people, like my market, like my city is not big. So like my zone is the 3 cities together is like the zone here. So it takes 3 cities to add up to get to what you got. And these top dashers, the old black dude I talked to, he kills it. But I am in California, and this is the market though also. But there's an advantage there. Now, if you are in a market to where you say, you know, there's too many drivers or there's not enough orders, if you are the highest rated driver, you're putting yourself up there at the list for the pickings. Low-hanging fruit, you're going to grab that. They can look at the low-hanging fruit, but they have an electric barrier that's stopping them from even going to touch it. You got to switch that, man. You got to switch that thinking up. You got to turn that around. You got to turn that around right there. Turn that engine up. Jaded Kansas, Uber will boost them up, will boost them no-tip orders up to $15 if no drivers accept them, accept it. Yes. Uber will, if you let it go, Uber will boost it up every time it comes back. So some of you drivers don't know about that either. Go says 100 to 1. See, 70% of my orders are repeat. Yeah. Those are people that he has their business. When he turns on the app, they're getting his business if he's on. Jaded Kansas says, I don't judge when someone he says, I don't judge where someone lives anymore. I've had bangers to go to the hood and the trailer park. I prefer to deliver in affluent areas, but when it's a teen or child ordering, the tip is going to be low. And this is what a lot of people got to understand too. The areas he's talking about. This is where I like to tell people, just look at it with high schools. We all know there's always a rich high school. There's always a high school that's almost there. We know the poor high schools. Think about it like that. These certain zones, if you stay, you do your thing, you're going to make more money because you didn't crack that code a little bit. TFT says, here current metro area population in Fresno 2022, 786,000. My zone also covers Sanger. Yes, Sanger, yep. So they put those together, and that's what I'm saying. Get Gary. We got the numbers. You can do it, but we are in California too. Sanger population from TFT, 27,000. Okay. Says out of all my orders, I say my repeat orders are about 50%. Yes. Now you think about this, people. If you go to the people, if most of your orders, 50% of your orders are going to repeat people, these are people that are tipping you continuously, and they are paying your bills. That's what these people are doing. That's why you want repeat customers. Guess what I do, people? When I drop off at places and it's a metered door, and it's their first time getting an order from me, I let them know. I turn on my app at 6 a.m. I also have it on at this time, so going into the late night. So just about whenever you turn on your app, I might be your delivery driver for you. I want to make sure that you do not miss out. I repeat what it says, why I deliver, that I want to make sure that you do not miss out. That's what I have under my deliver. So when I put that in my speech to them and they look at the phone for the driver and it says why I deliver, they're like, dang, he's got his presentation and everything down. I do that, and it gets the people to, if some people say, well, I didn't know people were around that early. I'm letting them know that I am. I'm bringing in more people into my zone too. A lot of you guys don't know how to work the room. You guys suck. You guys suck. A lot of you guys don't know how to work the room. How do you go to a different house every single time and you want to make money in some of these areas, but you don't want to stay in some of these areas, and you're not trying to let the people know when you're on? I'm on at this time. If you like my service, I'm on at this time all the time. Boom. I even let my customers know about HotFacts so they can hear the truth from me, and they treat drivers completely differently now, because of me. I'm doing that for the community too. We're stopping a lot of this nonsense. We are stopping. Now, I'm going to go over some of this. We got some gig news right now, okay? We got some gig news right now. Let me look at this poll right now. Let's see. We got 20 votes. As of right now, 85% of the people would love to see Sin City Deliveries, HotFacts, Pedro, UDM, the Money Boys, Rideshare Rodeo, and Revolution. DoorDash Revolution. And that would be the best panel. Rideshare Rodeo conducts interviews. He hops in different things. I conduct interviews. I'm the Rideshare Rodeo for my side. That brings me and him. Okay. Sin City is also like me. And then there you go. Then that's why Pedro is there too. Boom. Then we got the DoorDash Revolution and we got them Money Boys. There we go. And then we just need Bud Soda, the $100,000 man. And we have a panel that I'm telling you, the information and the discussion that will go on. You talk about what that would do for the gig community. Do you know the platform? Do you know like the views that would get? Do you know how many questions would people would be able to ask and get someone from each specific size point of view on that same question? Do you know what that can do for the gig economy? That'll make someone better understand everything, for we always tell people to make the right decision for you. Okay? That would help out so much. But hey, nobody's willing to step up except for the people on my side, and that's messed up. You guys will do it, but you guys will do it one-on-one with Sin City because you guys see that, man, he's new. But I'm telling you guys, I already jumped in. I already gave him some of my juice. And right now, if you guys go at him like that, you guys will go hear from me the same way how you guys would join up and bash me. The minute you guys go and say something like Hannibal was like the same people, man, you a clown for that. The second you guys throw something out there, I'm coming. I'm coming the same way how you guys did me. We got some stuff now. We are coming. We're coming. Okay? Say something about him. Try to make him look dumb how you guys were trying by cutting him off and all that. I got the mouthpiece. Remember, if you guys want to stereotype this, he's the white guy with the money. I'm the muscle. Y'all come get past me. You guys won't even come this way at all. But keep talking. Bring him up and say disrespectful things about it. And do all of that stuff. Because I go live more than all you guys. This is my 135th live. Okay? This is my 135th live, I think. I go live way more. I go live almost every day. Okay? So I go out live the same time every day, and I will dedicate a segment to dropping that heat on you guys. Okay? All that, you guys can keep all that stuff. And because right now, all of your subscribers, they saw Pedro get killed. First of all, they saw him get killed by me, and now they're going back and like, dang, HotFacts did that first. For the real archive people, HotFacts was in here doing it first. That's where, like the legend started. This is where the whole thing started. Okay. Okay. Then I'm the person where people will say, don't do me like Hannibal. Hannibal, that's where that came from. Okay. So we got firepower. The minute you guys say something, it's coming from my direction. And you guys know how I operate. I will tag. You guys can unsubscribe from me. You might as well block me. You might as well block me so I can't see anything. I will tag you guys in every single thing and let people know what the message that I'm going to say. I will tag you guys in everything. Forget going on sneaking and joining on secret lives. Let's go on live at this time. We think he may not be up. No, I'm going to tag you in everything. I'm going to tag you in everything. It's shots fired. We got you guys busted open. And that was sad. You guys tried to gang up on Sin City last night. He got not even halfway through his presentation, and you guys cut him off because you don't want to hear it because you think it's garbage. But you guys are saying if somebody has something good for the gig economy, we want to hear it. If you guys were in jail, they would send the booty bandits your way. He would have fun with you guys. He would have fun with you guys. You guys are hilarious. Now, I'm going to switch this whole topic right now. Okay, I'm going to switch this all up right now, I think. A lot of those folks will never change no matter what you say or what kind of data you put in front of them. That's how life is. Yeah, I know that. We still got the old lady that don't want the ball in her yard. The kids can't go and get it. We get that. All these people are people like them. They claim to have wives. They claim to be that stand-up words. And in any situation, let's say if we were face-to-face and I was disagreeing with them and they saw that it was just a discussion, they would try to step up and speak because they would be in front of their girl and all this other stuff. They are not. This is part of the man code. This part of the man code. This part of the man code. This part of the man code. Because, Roy, they've been doing it for 6 months, and I'm just letting them know, Roy, if they mouth off at them, I'm coming at them. My most profitable orders have probably gone to the hood. I'm talking about places where you sit too long at night and you might get jacked. Funny enough, those have been my most respectful customers. You know why? Because they probably got a trap house, they got to eat, and they got to make sure you get out of there safe. That's how that works right there. That's how that works right there. But Roy, on Real Talk, Roy, and that's funny because that's her name, Real Talk with Roy. Real Talk, Roy, though, I want to get that panel with all of us names up there because they talk about how can everyone better the economy. Each person up there has a different point of view on how this thing is supposed to be ran. And if every single one of us are up there answering questions from the people out there who really have the answers, because Flex said, come on now, like if people really got to go on these places, go on Discord and all this other stuff to pay for the information, it's DoorDash. It's not like it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, you got people out there making like 80, 90K. Some have hit 100K. So to them in 5 years, that is hundreds and thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? But people will pay for anything. And Flex, you can tell like people will pay for the dumbest things and they will do it. But if it is something that's worth value, you will pay for that. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. If Hannibal told someone he has a special secret on how to keep his dreadlocks all the way clean without doing all this other stuff, and he was like, man, you got to pay for that, he's going to charge for that. He's going to charge for it. Jock riding, PPP. What's jock riding? Now this is interesting. PPP, PPP loan. What is jock riding? Are you saying that I'm jock riding because I am supporting somebody else that has my exact same views? Or are you saying I'm jock riding because I have been fighting this battle pretty much by myself for damn near 7 months, whooping butt, and I am welcoming on some extra hands to the fight? Am I jock riding for that? Or am I jock riding for saying that if you guys do what you guys have done to me, to someone that thinks like me, I'm going to come at you guys like you guys came at me? Is that jock riding? You say jock riding, you know, like in the hood, you know, you call you a nut rider, you know, like something like that, you know, like, you know, you something else like that. You know, coattailing, coattailing. You think I'm coattailing? But I would like to say this: how can I be coattailing if I was the one doing this first? I am welcoming in the extra ammunition to bust those dudes a brand new one. Make them dudes look like Johnny B. Bad, if you know who I'm talking about. The wild man, Mark Merrill, before he was Mark Merrill. Make him go look like Little Richard. That's what I'm talking about. And this is Jamaica. Someone asked me a question, what do I drink in my cups? That's Jamaica, and this is water. Okay? This gig is got hella interesting since Sin City shook the table. Well, no, it's not that Jada Kansas. He did not shake the table. I shook the table. I rattled all the feathers and let them know that something is coming. I did this. Blew the whistle. And he came in with the full blueprint professor data to break them down. It's like I told him yesterday. I hit him and I was in that WWF fight, like tag team partners, and I had to get to that rope and tag somebody in, and they hopped over that rope and they were fighting and doing it good. What they did was, when I was not able to crack open to make, they had scrapes of blood coming out, scrapes of blood. He popped that thing open, and now it's leaking. Now that it's leaking, boom, I'm about to go. Bam, fire shot. Bam, fire shot. Bam, fire shot. Bam, fire shot. Body to the head. Whack, 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 whack. I'm talking about, yes, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about busting the mud. I'm talking about busting the mud. That's what I'm talking about. Since I'm about 5 minutes, I can jump in and talk a little bit about what I observed. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I'm talking about busting the mud. So what he did was, you know, and you know what, Jada Kansas, he's a white guy. He's a white guy. Remember when they said that how I'm coming across and I'm so passionate about my thing, I'm a thug, I'm this, I'm all this other stuff? He's a white guy. That's why you said he shook the table. I'm glad it's a white guy working with a black guy. I'm glad. I am super glad. When I keep coming, they keep making up all type of stuff to say about me. That's how you know some of these people are prejudiced. Because when the white guy comes with all the stuff and he's talking the same stuff and you see that he talks to me, you guys are not even ripping him the same way. And that's a difference in society. White guy versus black guy. Black guy that wears LA hats, he speaks a certain way, but damn, when he goes into business mode, he doesn't. But we see him speak a certain way. He talks to his friends a certain way, but then he goes, here, you guys have tried to put me into a box to where you guys try to make it all weird. But every day I speak, I keep slapping you guys in the face with that too. But now you have a white guy. You have a white guy who has Bill Nye, the science guy, out of you guys. And you guys are not coming at him. You guys, how come you guys aren't calling him if I'm a thug, how come you guys aren't calling him the opposite of that? You know, the white version. Oh yeah, you roll around with a team. You got like 3 black guys on your team. You can't do it by yourself. How come you guys aren't saying that stuff to him? But you guys want to come at me with all the smoke. It's because there's a racial undertone to it too. There is. Simply is. You can look at it. You can look at it. If I say anything, they say it's super aggressive because I'm black and they think I'm from the hood. If someone says the exact same thing, they just want to say we'll let you talk and cut you off. But they're not disrespecting him the same way. I want to know why also. I know why Hannibal's doing it, because he's an Uncle Tom. And he likes to feed off people. And then Pedro coming in here talking about, yeah, Richard, you know we're good. Why'd you come in my live talking about, yeah, Richard, you know we're good, because he's talking about some real stuff and we ain't going to be talking about you. You try to make it seem like people really like you. That's why I asked him the question, how did you feel when you got a guy with 27,000 subscribers telling them all the wrong information? Like, he was like, well, you know, I got to give him respect. Yeah, same here. You got to give him respect about having a channel and doing that, but the dude's a bozo. That's why I was asking him. I don't have that respect for those guys anymore like that, to where I'm like, oh, I got to respect these guys. Fuck them. I don't have that respect anymore. Fuck them. He's not there. But as he sees his little 4 or 5 days in this gig world with him saying his thing, he sees how they keep coming at him from different angles, have him jumping all these. He'll jump into one live and then all of them will jump in the live. He'll go to another live and all of them will jump in that live. But when he came over here, that force field was here. Put them punks in their place. Put those punks in their place. PPP says, now it's about race. I'm not saying it's about race, PPP. You're going to see, you're someone that doesn't understand the full way of how someone can make money out there. You refuse to know that there's areas that certain people can't go and all type of other stuff. You don't really understand the sociological aspect that comes into this. You don't understand the psychology when you're doing this. You don't understand these things. I am not afraid to look at these things and say them out loud. That's the whole difference. And the reason why I say that is everything that I say, if I use the word dude, awesome, brilliant, if I use those words all the time, you guys would not say I'm a thug or anything. That's why I'm saying it's a racial undertone. That you guys associate me with thug and all this other stuff. That's racial. You guys say that black guys are thugs and all this other stuff, right? You guys meaning like society. I'm not pointing directly at you. But that's what's said, right? So if I'm called these things, how am I supposed to separate what you call me when I'm supposed to be doing my thing? I got to use what you call me to break it down so you know exactly what you're saying. But you don't even know what you're saying. So that's why you shouldn't even be speaking to me. You don't even think that deep. That's why I said it was great that a white guy came up and said the same thing. And as you see, he's not getting the same backlash as me. That's why I can bring up compare and contrast. Why are you not looking at, what's going on like right here? Compare and contrast. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just happy because it's easier on me now. It's a benefit for me. And yes, Mr. Flex, I forgot Matthew Green. Mr. Flex should be on the panel also because he is in a super metro area. Yes, Flex is yes. I want the panel. Yes. Yes. Matthew, that's the panel I want. Yes. Add Flex right there, and that panel is set. Because Bentley Coop and your driver Mike and Pete probably won't come. They probably won't. They don't want to do it at all. But add in Flex, that's the perfect panel to really just sit and talk. Look, I'll be on live. We'll all be on our own thing. I'll have me some chicken right here. I'll be getting ready to eat. And speaking of chicken, I'm making lunch for my family. I gotta. Okay, let me put the link. I'm making lunch for my family. So my daughter and my son wanted Jack in the Box, spicy chicken sandwich combos. So I'm making the spicy chicken sandwiches myself. I got my buttermilk. I already got my buttermilk. Got my chicken breast. Already got my brioche buns. And toast those up. Put the things on there. They don't like to eat lettuce on there, so we're using tomatoes and onions. I already got the fries. So when Pedro and them says make yourself a set sandwich, and people, I know how to really cook. So I'll make my kids some Jack in the Box, cheaper than what it is there. By the way, the pack of chicken breast cost as much as one whole meal. You go there and buy the meals, that's like $25 for just some people. So yeah, but there goes the link there. I have to go ahead and share that though. But that panel right there is what we are trying to do. That is an awesome panel. You bring up Flex. These guys don't want to do it though. And you know how people try to get petition signed? Let's try to get this panel going. But I forgot. Pedro won't do anything with me. He'll come in and sneak talk because I wanted to ask someone if they were a little person. But even though I'm a trained person to look at discrepancies or anything that might be off in human physically, I'm trained to catch those things. Even though that's the case, he won't come and do it. But even if we can take Pedro out, I really would like to have him in because he's the spokesperson for the no tip, no trip. He's the spokesperson for it all. When he says go, they all go. Yeah, look, Flex, Sin City, Roy, Jada Kansas said Flex, Sin City, Roy, Pedro, UDM, Bud Soda, Kim Side Money Plans. For this panel here, or are you talking about adding them in? He said PPP. You said all you do is talk about Pedro. Because Pedro is the main one that talks about me. And he is the spokesperson. I can't go with Hannibal, the cannibal Lecter, because he sneaks in and throws out stuff here and now and there. Once I hear him, I air his ass out. Just like the rest of them. Pedro is the person that rants. He has Petty Pedro. He makes shorts. See, you don't know the shorts and things he says on. You're not paying attention to things. He's constantly throwing stuff. So yes, he's the person that says I can take the brunt for all my people. So I'm about to Optimus Prime his ass. Now, Jay Cannon says for the panel. Now, Jay, are you adding in these people? Are you adding in these people with Pedro? Because I can have 10 people up there. So are these add-ins or is this the panel that you want up there? So you're saying Kim Side Money Plan, but I want Bud Soda because he can take it for the team and actually do this for the team. Bud Soda, UDM, Pedro. Now, Roy, when I monetize Roy, we got to talk a little bit, and this is like telling you, dude, that when the bust open buildings, you got to tone it down a little bit. The debate of multi-apping versus top dasher / Uber diamond. Yes. The debate, yes. Jada Kanza, the debate of multi-apping versus top dasher. So that's 1, 2. So we got Kim Side, Bud Soda, UDN, Pedro, Get Roy, Sin City, Flex. See, that's only 7. DoorDash Revolution. See, look, I can have 10. I have 10 slots. That's what I'm saying. I have 10 slots. We can add some of those names in. This is why I would love this is why I would love your driver Mike, Bentley Coupe, or even Pete paid to drive. Bam, man. What's up, man? What's
going on, brother?
Yeah, man. Like I would that panel right there would be so exciting for me. That would be like, to me, that would be the gig conference. To me, that would be the gig conference right there, sitting and talking about the stuff so we can all help each other out. I think that, and this is what people don't understand. You can do a conference call on Zoom or on the phone. You know what I mean? That would literally be the gig conference right there, to where we can all come in and now we can help out more people all over.
Yeah, there was a good chunk of them on on Hannibal's live last night, and then Flex jumped in too. And it was funny because like Sin City, he's talking about the whole top dasher thing, and he's showing this thing like, oh, I made $800 or $900 in 25 hours being top dasher, and I'm like, I send a message like through the chat thing to Flex. I'm like, Flex, isn't that what you make in 25 hours? You know, double that. You work 50 hours, you're making 1,800, almost $2,000 a week. So it's the same thing, and everybody's market's different.
Check this out. Flex is super different. Flex is in a super metro. His rules, no one can do his rules because they don't even have that. They don't even have that ability. Flex can deny as many orders as he wants and still beat anybody.
Yeah, I don't like because Flex, he'll deny like 160, 170, almost 200 orders a day. Like I'm lucky if I see that in a day. You know, that's why I run DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Spark all at the same time. And then one day, like you were saying, the Spark batches, that's the way to go. Like I knocked one out like a few weeks back. It was like $48, 27 or 30 miles, and I did it in an hour. So I made like $48 in an hour, you know. And I'd rather have all these packages in my car than a bunch of fountain soda sloshing around and worrying about food and stuff. You know, you just do what works for you, you know?
Yeah, and I think too many people are focused on the food apps that they are neglecting that there's an app, there's a delivery app for every type of person. You know, if you don't want food, you can do the roadie, you can do the curry. If you want to get into the medical side gig and do that, you know, there is a gig app for everyone. And I think everyone thinks that they have to be funneled into doing DoorDash and they're funneled into doing these certain apps, but there's so many out there that they aren't even against looking at other apps to see if they can really make something better for themselves.
Yeah, and the way like DoorDash is going lately, like you decline so many orders and it pauses you, and like the timer will run out. Like I was thinking about like a strategy here. I'm thinking about just scheduling myself 2-hour blocks, taking an hour off, 2-hour blocks, taking an hour off, 2-hour blocks, taking an hour off. That way, if I'm working everything and they kick me off, oh well, I'm kicked off for the rest of an hour. I'll be back on in an hour or two, and just
what's crazy about doing that. You know what's crazy about that? That's how me and my brother, when we first started on, and this is why I do my thing in blocks. I give myself 3 hours, but 2 hours of active time it has to be in that 3 hours. Then I go on a break because in those 2 hours, I should have at least 7 to maybe 8 deliveries. So, driving wise, 7 to 8 deliveries. If you're in a W-2, it's time for a break. It's break time. You know what I mean? So that's how exactly what you just said. That's not a bad way because then when you're going out there, you're really going to maximize for the time you are out there.
Yeah, because then if you get kicked off, the orders on Spark are rolling in. Grubhub, Uber's coming in.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about trying that like the next day off I have. But yeah, I'm actually on break at the W-2 right now.
Yeah. Look, every experience is, anytime people can get into a zone to where they want to do a study on themselves, like you want to do a study on yourself. Some people are afraid to do a study on themselves because the data that they might get about themselves is going to be pointing at them in some ways. You know what I mean? But the best thing to do is get yourself built up enough to do the study on yourself. And then, like you said, I'm thinking about doing this. Once you do that and you're going to pay attention to what you're doing, you're going to be like, you know what? Bam, bam, bam. That's your study right there. Most people don't want to do a study. They want to look at someone else's study. They think Pedro's study is for them. They think UDM's study is for them. They think everyone's study, like, you have to do your own thing. Even if you work in the same market, it's not the same as what that driver is doing. You know what I mean?
And if you end up with a Spark batch, you could be 2 hours in doing that. There goes DoorDash. You're not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up, Cody? What's up, man?
How are you doing today?
Still, man. I went out Spark 3 hours, $132.
Nice.
3 hours on Spark, yes. Did that before I hopped on here, so you can't complain about that at all.
I've had some similar experiences to that. How you been holding up since the funeral? Have you been talking to people and doing what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, and it's yeah and no. Yeah and no. It's a no, and then it becomes a yeah because you start to think. You know what I mean? It's a no, it becomes a yeah, and then I had my real breakdown day. My real breakdown day was the other day. I didn't go out. I didn't drive. I was just down. So, but you know,
you seem like the other day, right after that, seemed like you were posting at odd hours. Well, either it's news or it's coping. I mean, none of it's bad things. Some I picked up on, but anywho, yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Good. You know, the individual. I've been working a lot today, but that individual you're referring to, Let's Play DoorDash, the person from Michigan.
Okay. Yes.
I really wanted to hear what he had to say because I have not had Top Dasher since the end of February. So these programs are constantly evolving. They're constantly changing. They're very fluid. So everything that I'm hearing from people that have been doing this for more than a minute, all the indications are that DoorDash is not the same program that it was a couple years ago. And in the short time I've been doing this, DoorDash is not the same program that it was even a year ago. So I really wanted to hear what this guy had to say. So they interviewed him, and so he's a top dasher. So I was just curious what his experience is. What does he do? So, like, I'm not going to say anything bad about anybody. I'm just going to, say strictly what I observed. Mm-hmm. So, like, number one, you had to fast forward 35 minutes in that podcast to even get to Let's Play DoorDash's segment and comments. It took him 35 minutes to get to him. Like, he is your guest. He is there to to share his experience. I mean, he's someone new. Why did you slow play the guy for 35 minutes? Well, then they finally get to him, and they're like, and so just reading the body language, hearing the tone of voice, they're like, hey, so you're also a top dasher. So just the way it came out, you could hear the disdain. And verbally, you could hear the disdain. So I'm like, okay, so this explains why they slow played his introduction for 35 minutes. I haven't seen that in past interviews that they've done.
Right.
But it stuck out like a sore thumb on this one. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I listened to what he had to say. He was doing exactly what Autumn and I were doing. You just kind of play the game a little bit. You get the top dasher, and then when you're at the top of the food chain, if whatever, then you can sift. You get the first priority to pick what you want or what you don't want. Okay, so sometimes you see good, sometimes you see bad, but I saw far less bad orders from a top dasher's point of view. So he would cherry pick throughout the month, and the last 3-4 days, whatever, you're just kind of mopping that up a little bit to make sure you get your stats where they need to go. Personally, I don't think it's wrong. I made a little bit more money doing that versus being a non-top dasher. But the entire time, like, just looking at the body language, all I observed through that entire thing was like blank expression, no real interaction. One person sitting back like this, and oftentimes, sitting back in closed arms often indicates someone that's not interested, somebody that is guarded in some way. Right. It's not open. It's not real inviting. People that are more interested sometimes will really lean in. There's just the cues were just the body language cues were not very inviting. And then you have the other individual that you could tell when he gets when he kind of gets his feathers ruffled, his face gets real tight, the skin gets real tight, and then there's just a lot of this erratic movement. And these are just things I notice. I don't see that when they talk to other people that are more in that clique, and I call it a clique, and I wholeheartedly mean that. What I feel what happens is, I could be wrong, okay? All this I'm saying could be wrong. I don't know. Based on my experience and training in the past, I don't believe I'm wrong, but maybe I am. So like, I feel like they kind of do the equivalent of when someone first goes to jail or hits a prison yard, they get paper checked. Why are you here? They want to make sure you're not a cho, right? They want to make sure you're in there on a good crime. Okay, they're vetting you. This is the same kind of thing. Oh, we got this new gig tuber, so they want to vet you. But in a weird way, it's kind of like they kind of hit you with all this niceness, and you're like, oh, these seems like a really genuine crew. And then after you kind of get run through the gauntlet, and you look back and you're like, you know what? I think they were kind of doing the gig tube version of paper checking me to see if I fit the ideology or not. So, and then if you start disagreeing with them, they'll usually start pushing back. Well, you're confused, or you must have misunderstood. And I'm thinking, no, I didn't misunderstand anything. I can rethink and make decisions for myself. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not the smartest person, but I'm also not stupid. So, that's usually the go-to when they don't like the narrative or they don't like something that you're saying. So, you know, that's just kind of what I observed. They didn't let this guy talk for any real amount of time. So I feel like Let's Play DoorDash, I think he was great. And I want to see more of his ideas, because maybe there's something he's doing that might help Autumn and I do something better. I'm always open to that. I don't feel like they were open. So I think he put him in an odd position because he went to their gig conference, but he wasn't totally on board with that no tip, no trip ideology, because it's like a bunch of ideologues spreading this weird information. That information may have been okay during pandemic era, but as the economy starts to sour and sectors are starting to contract, Main Street is starting to lay people off, that ideology could lead some to slaughter. Right. And I really mean that.
Yeah.
That's my thought on that. And at the end of the day, I feel like he kind of puts him in this weird position. So I kind of feel like some of their channels have to kind of pay to play. So if they don't 100% subscribe to the big guy, then they run the risk of being crossed out in the gig community. What I don't understand is, if you share the same information, that they come out in force and excoriate you, right? They libel you, they slander you, they do all these things. If I say it, it's kind of like, whatever. They'll just kind of cast me aside. They'll say I'm confused, or maybe I misunderstood, or was given wrong information. They don't quite hit me like that, but I also don't like fully pay attention enough to them to really do it, I guess. I don't know.
It's the conviction. They know, they hear how I speak, and they can feel it from me. Like they feel it. They see that I'm not reading from a paper. They see that he is really talking. So it's the conviction. You know what I mean? That's why they're treating me like an Al Sharpton or a Malcolm X, or anyone that comes in that has a strong presence about them. They try to take that and turn it. You know what I mean?
It seems
that's why they come like that. Yeah.
So when so Sin City Deliveries, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think many of us that either are top dashers or have been there and have been on both sides, kind of think the way he does. he just breaks it down better. He just articulates it better because he's a real numbers kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But to some degree, we all understand and already kind of know what he's already saying. But
Right.
he just delivers the information a little bit better. So like he kind of comes in really fast. He comes in like really, really hot, really fast. And that's the reason why they gave him the time of day, because he kind of turned them on their head, or maybe not them, but at least turned the ideology on its head, or gave it something to think about. And then enough people were like, well, gee, could this guy be right? Because he's coming in with like with some facts. He's coming in with a little bit of circumstantial evidence, but circumstantial evidence is not always wrong, because criminal court cases get tried on circumstantial evidence and are sometimes won, but equally they're also sometimes lost. Casey
Right.
in Florida was tried on circumstantial evidence. Okay, so anyway, so all I'm trying to say is he came in with something articulate. He came in with more than what some of the others come in with, and that's why I like what he said, because it kind of helped me with my thinking. Like, I was already kind of thinking this, but he kind of just narrows it down better with some numbers.
He has an actual visual. He has an actual visual chart that, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So, yes, absolutely. He has visuals. So he has some, I feel like he has some really hard numbers. I feel like he has a little bit of circumstantial evidence, but he's bringing more to the table than what they're bringing, you know?
But check this out. He also said that he has a year and a half of Gary's app as data, the stats that he used Gary's app for a year and a half, and he used the data from Gary's app, the app, to help come to what he's doing. So if that by itself,
yes,
if Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan shared what they know about how to hit that fadeaway,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They know, like, man, that's the real information right there. Where'd you get it from? The source.
Right.
He used Gary's app to help with his data. And that's what they're not like. They have to understand that part. He said, I used to do what you guys did first. Now I see it was completely wrong in a way. But he was using Gary's app. So they have to come to some type of understanding that we got to start listening to it if he's using our developers' things. He talked about Para and the app. He's using their groups. He's using their group's engineer, and that's their groups. He's using their stuff. So they have to start listening to it.
I agree. Also, so like the top dasher thing, right? If someone chooses to be one, great. If they choose not to be, great. You have to do you. You have to do what's right for you at the end of the day. I love guns, right? There's a lot of people that would excoriate me for owning guns. If someone doesn't want to own a gun, I don't give a shit. But don't look at me when the mass shooting starts, because it's not my job to protect you. I carry to protect myself and my family, right? But so my thing is this, when things start to sour, like economically, right? So if you're buying into this bet on you one day at a time, you have a family, Robert. Can you bet on yourself one day at a time? My kid needs school clothes. Imagine a week ago when she's like, "Hey, Dad, when are we going to the mall? You know, we got to get our clothes." Sorry, kid. I'm only betting on me one day at a time. I'll get back to you the day before. Bullshit. That's not how it works. So the thing is this. I'm looking out 3 months. I'm looking out 6 months, right? I'm seeing things in the economy that they don't look real good. Okay. So what do smart people do when they're trying to hedge their future against inflation or against recession? They start doing things like buying gold. They start buying silver. They start moving their assets out of high risk, holdings, and they start moving into the more boring conservative stuff, like bonds and the really boring index funds that are just conservative, and they don't suffer the same losses that the high risk stuff does. That's where I consider top dasher in the next 3 to 6 months. The signs are all around us. That may be the one single thing as a gig worker that will keep you on the road and keep the damn wheels spinning when the maps are gray. Maybe you'll still have access to maybe some crummy $7 or $8 orders, but here's the deal: at least you have access.
You got access to them, yeah.
Right. You're not going to be that guy on the sideline going, "Oh, I can't fucking log on," because you cherry pick the shit out of everything. So the apps are now getting more flooded, and Main Street's getting laid off, losing their jobs. So the smart people aren't buying $30 Big Macs, right? That may be the one thing that you can do to protect yourself. Another tool in the bag. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So to tell your people to bet on yourself one day at a time is, I don't know. I'm not 15 years old, so that's like saying live in the moment. Well, I have wife and kids. I can't live in the moment, right? But just knowing in a more broader scheme of things of what's going on, some of that advice is probably outdated now, and could lead some people to slaughter. That's my saying for things that are really bad, right? Like, right. May lead you to slaughter. Can everybody be top dasher? No, not everybody can be top dasher, because then you're gonna have the same issue. That'd be like, well, what if we made everybody millionaires overnight? Well, then this stupid Hyundai Elantra that I'm sitting in, all of a sudden becomes worth like $40,000 overnight. You know what I mean? So I get
some drivers are gonna not do are gonna stop driving the app completely. Right. It's just like now. That's just how it is on Uber. Right. People don't want to drive for Uber because they see I can't see nothing on Uber unless I do these things. So that's the protection that Uber has for quality. So DoorDash is going to do. That's why now it's going to be 60%. It's acceptance and all that other stuff, and it's going to force the drivers who cannot do that. It's going to force them out. They're going to go back to a W-2, and the drivers that are able to maintain it, you're gonna see more benefits of it. You know what I mean? And there's gonna be another app that probably starts where those drivers will go start driving for, because they don't have everything in order like that, and then they'll love it because it's not in order right.
So so when they had Let's Play DoorDash on there, right? He was talking about the guy was completely relatable. That's what I like him. He's completely relatable. He was talking about sitting in Taco Bell line or something with some crummy order, totally lost his ass on it when you look at the time and the amount of time it took for him to do it. But the biggest takeaway of that story was he was spending time with his son. That it wasn't about the damn money. It wasn't about the damn money. In the takeaway was about the time that the father had with his child.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I saw that. I saw a part of that part where he was like, he does it and he can take his boy with him. And I saw that part.
And I'm like, that's a relatable story, because when I have to take my wife to dialysis 3 days a week, I often have to take my stepson with me. So sometimes we take some crummy orders because it's not about the damn order. It's about we got something to do. Right? It's giving us something to do, but we're just having like a good time, laughing, and you know what I mean? Like, we're not in Bass Pro Shops spending money we don't have. That got me in trouble one time, well, more than one time. But the thing is like, the takeaway from that was spending time with his son, and maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but I didn't remember hearing anyone be like, all they were fixated on was the stupid order, the stupid narrow-mindedness of the damn order, and then everyone got brainwashed into this no tip, no trip thing. My thing with no tip, no trip is in my experience, I have tend to run into more issues with those. So I try to not knowingly take those. But if they're hidden in a stack, I'll just still take it on the chin and I'll still do it. But my thing is, some people have to take those to maintain Top Dasher so they can dash in their market. And that's what that guy was trying to say. So, so he brought a very real world perspective to the table. And I never once heard anything like, well, that was really cool that you could spend time with your son. It was just fixated on the money and the stupid narrative. And I just can't imagine operating from day to day with that mentality. The other thing,
what's your opinion on Bud Soda, Cody? What's your opinion? Because look, it seems he hops on everyone. They allow this dude to hop on everyone's live, and the things that come out of his mouth just do not make sense. What is your take on Bud Soda and my challenge for him? My challenge is, since he's trying to hit 100K, he's gone almost 7 months with doing it, and he's not going to hit 100K. He should be the main person from their side to say, let me keep Top Dasher how he says he's been and accept all the orders to see how much closer he gets to 100K. What do you feel about Bud Soda and him actually should be the one to go and fully do it for their case study for their team? You're good. I can see it. He might probably must have bought it.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Shit.
I can hear you.
If you can hear me, I'll be right back. I have no sound.
Oh, okay. All right. So he will be right back. But I want to know his opinion. And people, write a comment in the comment box. What is your opinion on Bud Soda coming in and really just trying to if you guys go and watch the thing, Bud Soda has a real issue with Sin City. He has a real issue with Sin City. Bud does not like the guy at all. So if you are in the comment box, I know DoorDash Rick, let me know what you feel about this Bud Soda situation. Is he not thinking at all? Is he not taking in any information? Let me know what you feel about Bud Soda and if he should be the sacrificial lamb for their squad to do the test on Top Dasher.
I really don't know him that much. I really don't know, I don't really know enough of what he does to really say. What I can say is this. I think he grinds hard. I think he means well. I think he's a good person. I don't think anything negative of him.
Right.
My only thing that I disagree with him on, but also I don't live in his market. I don't agree with the multi-apping because I've multi-apped and it got me in some hot water. My ratings started to suffer. My customer ratings started to suffer on the platforms because of it. And personally, it just frazzles the shit out of me. So I'm like, I'm like a one and done, like one job, one app. If the app sucks or slow, I can turn it off and then maybe try something else. So, I'm not really sure. Honestly, I really don't know what to say because I feel like I feel like you can have a conversation and talk to him. But on one hand, I kind of feel like he can make the case for maybe why multi-apping is not the best thing to do.
That's where I was hoping you were gonna lead into right there because there's a level to the multi-apping thing. I say he's a dirty apper. He's a dirty multi-apper because he even said, I'll get a Spark order and I'll stack a Uber Eats or a DoorDash on it with it. That's 3 separate platforms. That's a dirty apper.
Well, and I've done that one time, and they were all going basically the same direction, and it just didn't work out very well. It probably didn't work out because I'm not very well practiced in that way of doing things. But if you have one customer, like let's say I'm any of us are a paying customer on any of these platforms, right? And I've paid the inflated costs with the fees and provide a tip. I want my stuff. Like, I'm hoping that you're dedicated to me to get my stuff. I didn't pay that money and pay those fees. I would not knowingly do that if I knew my driver was on 2 or 3 or 4,000 other apps and not prioritizing. That would just kind of piss me off. So after I personally did, I'm like, you know what? That's probably not right. So I don't do it. I don't do it anymore. I did it a little bit. And sure, it worked out for me a couple of times. But all it took was really one complaint and one platform to look at the data and say, hey, he was supposed to be going this way, but the dude was really going this way, and then get deactivated. So what? You gonna get deactivated because you wanted to make an extra like $15 in the immediate moment? That makes no sense.
And when the customer calls and the customer says, why is my driver going? Yeah, all of that. Now, you said, I'm not prepared for that, but you got to be real with yourself. Who is prepared for 3 separate apps? That's 3 separate orders. And check this out. Some people say, well, they're going in the same direction. It might be here, and then the same direction means, well, this house is 4 miles over this way. That's kind of the same direction. No, you can't.
So no. I do a little bit of flight training on those certificates. Let me tell you this: if you're heading 180, but you screw up, sorry, and you go heading 185, okay, and you're chugging along, 250 miles an hour, you can end up 4,000 miles. That's my point from where you're supposed to be. So just because the map says you're going here and you're going over here, the map makes it look close, and you might go, well, I could do it, but you're really so far apart. What happens when something happens? That something is a traffic jam, bad weather, your damn driver going 15 under the speed limit, and you can't get around their ass, like
all of that stuff.
Right. Like, if something happens, you're screwed. If under the best conditions, you run a risk, but any one little thing goes wrong, the whole thing is just no bueno. So
check this out. What about just from the start? Let's say you picked up one order. All right. Let's say how Bud does it. He has his Walmart Spark. He already knows that he's got to go and pick this one up at this time. He's going to go and get an order. Let's say he's on Uber Eats and he's like, I got this order right here. Now, when he's going to get that DoorDash order, they're like, yeah, this is an issue. This is an issue. Then he gets a call from the Uber Eats person. Can you, make sure that we'll, and like, all right, like he could have literally, and then what if he has to be on customer service on 2 separate apps at the same time trying to do his thing? There's no, all of these things can happen at any given time. And by him telling people, especially yesterday, the very first thing he came out with, well, I'm multi-app, I do it like this, and I feel no one should have to do anything else like this because all you have to do is multi-app like this. He's stuck in dirty multi-apping. He doesn't see anything else. He's stuck there. There's no hope for Bud.
Well, and the problem is that I can only imagine the stress, right? Stress has to be a factor. It's just, to me, it doesn't seem like it's worth it.
It's not. You know how many monsters he drinks a day? He drinks nothing but like energy drinks, and that stress makes him drink those energy drinks like that because he wants to have his head moving so fast. He wants to be ahead of what each thing is. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all. That's all over the place.
I just know, like, his style of doing business would not work for me. Like, personally, I couldn't do it. I'd be so stressed out. What little bit of hair I have, I'd be ready to just flip and rip out, and my luck is I would get 2 orders or 3 orders or whatever in the hell, and I would end up with like 2 or 3 Karens. on steroids. Like, not, I wouldn't just have your average Karen. I get your like Karen on steroid. That would be my luck. So that's out. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, man, we gotta try to figure something out. But I do think Bud Soda should actually, because he said I've hit Top That Dasher, and I still, this is what bothers me. He says I still see the same orders because he hits it and he doesn't accept the order still. So it's kind of like you know, that's why they kept cutting Bud Soda off and someone else speaks, because it's like, Bud, we can't have you say that with this dude. He's smart. You can't say that you've gotten it, but you don't take the orders. That's not going to help us out at all, what we are trying to prove. But that's why I think Tony stepped in and said, because, you know, I think Tony realized that when he said, me and my wife both had Top That Dasher and she got better orders, I didn't see a difference. They don't understand that you have to take the orders and get them into the algorithm. And that's why I think that right now, I think Tony is going to really do it, you know, to take the orders. Because I do believe out of all of them, if it comes to data that's going to be coming out about the thing, I think Tony should be, he has the person to drop the data and the stats. Yes. So I'm happy that he's going to do it.
My opinion is I just think Tony's on a different wavelength, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I think he's on a way different wavelength. So I would trust, personally, if Tony tells me something, I'm going to trust what he says before the other crew, just because I feel like he will give things fairly and accurately, good, bad, or indifferent. The others, I can't say 100% that I trust that they have or will. So I literally just think he's on a different wavelength. And I really like him. I think he's a nice person. Him and his wife are funny. You know, but you know, the thing is, but like going back to stress, right? Like another thing with Top Dasher, sometimes once in a while, okay, I always say sometimes you have to scoop a little crap to get to the good stuff. Like you don't just walk into a W-2. Very rarely do you walk into a W-2 on day one and you're just the boss, right? Unless you've got experience over here and this new place over here is looking for a boss. But you still had to scoop a bunch of crap to get to that point. Top Dasher is kind of the same thing. Like nothing comes easy. You have to work for it. So sometimes you're going to take that flip-flopped order where maybe you're running a $7 order 8 miles. That's not all the time, but once in a while. So, but with the mental health side of it, you're just sitting in your car, decline. Every decline, you're getting more and more angry. You're more productive if your wheels are spinning and turning, no pun intended. Like literally you're turning your tires and you're being productive and you're working. You may not be on the most ideal or the best paying order, but the thing is you are working. And hitting that damn decline button eventually gets to a person because they're like, well, I'm not making any money. I'm not this, I'm not that. Well, maybe that's your fault. But
Right.
So I think it's valuable, even if you just take the money. I mean, money's kind of everything, but if you kind of throw the money component out of it for just a second and you think of it like that, I would much rather take a so-so order than totally pass it up, and then that translates to me just sitting in a parking lot for 15 minutes.
Right.
I'd rather just kind of busy doing something.
Yeah.
And we get
most people though, but Cody, most people, if to be all the way honest, if people took more orders, they would still make more money than people in W-2s. People are trying to, I don't know what it is.
What do I think about Real Talk with Roy? Well, I think he can be an abrasive ass sometimes, but that's a good thing because that brings out sometimes you need that to kind of stir that pot a little bit, but he brings a good, fresh, sobering perspective to some things. It's not like, what do you get when you watch that liberal leaning news. When you watch MSLSD, all you're going to get is, this side is bad, and all them gun owners are bad. But then if you go watch, Fox News, and, they say they're fair and balanced. They're not. None of them are, but Roy's kind of got like the, kind of that independent thinking kind of mind. So he'll just kind of say it like it is. He's got like some borderline Joe Rogan mentality, I think. Like, I don't know, maybe like thinking wise. So, and like I told you, I think we can agree on more things than disagree. I've seen some of the things that you've put out, and I think I agree with the majority more than I disagree. But that's what I like. If about 8 months ago I was on Pedro's channel, and I wasn't being rude, I wasn't using foul language, I wasn't putting anybody down. I was just trying to make a case for Top Dasher where we live. And I don't remember, but one of the damn wrench wielders kept timing me out for 300 seconds at a time.
Oh, I hate that.
So
I hate that.
I'm gone. So I never look back. So like I said, I kind of feel like, and this is how I feel, I could be 100% wrong. I've been wrong before. But I've also been right many, many times too. I just kind of feel like if you're a new content creator coming into the gig tube, these guys will seek you out. They will kind of groom you. In other words, they'll kind of they'll do like a digital paper check to make sure you pass muster. They're going to vet you and then decide whether or not maybe whether or not you'll succeed or not. Maybe, I don't know. But disagree with them, and they'll just do what they can to try to rat pack you. And that fucking pack mentality is very weird. So whatever, I think that I think everyone has something good to bring to the table.
Right.
Because I think even non-top dashers, hell, I'm one of them, they have something valuable to bring, because there could be cases where there's a market where Top Dasher doesn't make sense. But then you could get some isolated cases where a Top Dasher, you just need to have it. So I just wish, and here's the thing, but everybody, doesn't matter which side of the spectrum you're on, everybody's like, well, we need to fight for A, B, and C with these gig apps, right? We need to fight for, it seems like transparency seems to be the number one issue. Well, when everyone is at each other's throats and can't get on the same page, listen, if I have a 27,000 subscriber microphone, my message isn't going to be ostracizing a certain group of people and calling them clowns, right? I'm going to be saying, everybody, let's get in the pool together. Let's come up with a solution and figure out how the hell we're going to fight for transparency. Yeah. Not what am I trying to say? Not outcasting an entire group of people. So that doesn't help anything. So
that's what it does not, and that was one of my. That's why I asked Richard yesterday. I said, Rich, what type of impact do you think he would have if half of his subscribers benefited and started making more money and went in the right direction with it? Just imagine, he got 27,000. So just imagine if half of his subscribers, if he had the message going, do you know all those, the positive wave, the dude would be past Nugs. He would be past Nugs and subscribers. He would be trying to get up there with your driver Mike, and your driver Mike has all those subscribers because of the information that he gives, how helpful he is. He's not going out there. He doesn't talk about no tip, no trip or anything else like that, you know, and he loves to help everyone. And he has 3 times the subscribers as Pedro. That's why I was trying to, ask him, just imagine the effect he would have if he actually used it for not the bashing and the bringing the negativity out there. If he turned it the other way, this dude would have so much. And people are like, well, you're just hating on him. I'm not hating on the dude.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you why he should have did this too. Because his video that got him 230,000 views, that was not a short. That was an actual video that was like 30 minutes long. That's his 4,000 watch hours on that one video. Okay? He got 4,000 watch hours on one video, and that one video right there probably got him close to like 900 subscribers. That one video, okay? From right there, you're monetized and subscribed. When he first started, he wasn't like his very first video was not the no tip, no trip. It was him introducing and talking about some of the things about DoorDash. He could have instantly right there, already been trying to have that message going on. Because look, the video that I put out got 230,000 people watching it just like that. He wasn't in the whole bad realm on just clowns and all this other stuff. Once he starts seeing that other people that was here before him, like UDM and all these guys, he started hearing all this other stuff. He jumped in and was like, these people like my video more than any of the videos that you guys have put out. So that's kind of how he got put into the thing. And then once he started doing his lives, and then once he saw that, oh, no tip, no trip. They like me saying this stuff. He took that and ran with it. He had the choice. Right now, he has even a greater chance to do it now because everyone knows that he's been hit with the information.
I think no tip, no trip is just a catchy slogan. It's a brand. It's a catchy slogan. And I think, during the pandemic era came in at the right time when people were trying to figure out what was what, trying to navigate all the weirdness of 2020 and through 2021. And, I don't know. Although there's times I will not take a no tip, I mean, sometimes because it comes with a certain level of liability. I've experienced, just had one the other day, actually. It was a low tip. It wasn't a no tip. Technically, it had $1 tip. And I remember in my mind, oh no, here we go. So it was drop off at apartment 3. Well, damn it. I've been around for at least a minute. I know what the hell 3 looks like. So I dropped off at the 3. It was on time. The drink was there. The straw was there. The bag was sealed up. So, there's only so much I can do to ensure everything's in a sealed bag. The most I could do is, well, do you have this, this, and this? Well, when the damn employee looks at you, go, yeah, it's all in there, and bobs her head around. I'm going to go rifling through some bag, Well, I drop it off. I don't know, like, this is like 20 minutes later. Hey, wrong door, but thanks, I'll get it myself. I'm like, what a bunch of BS. And so he didn't imply that there was anything missing. I was just saying, like, I ensured to the best of my ability, everything was there, directions were followed, everything was on time. And then this guy 20 minutes later, comes back, and then I had the 1 star that showed up yesterday. I'm like, really? I hardly run DoorDash anyway, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's my experience with no tip and some low tippers.
Right.
So I would be lying if I sat here and said that I take those. I do try to avoid them when possible.
Right. We all try to avoid them. That's why we like to be in the area, in the zone, to where we know this area, the orders are coming in and they're good orders. If I have to drop off to a spot and I know I don't like that area, I turn my app off and I drive right back to where I was. Just so I'm not gonna be, because I know what's gonna happen when I'm there. It's gonna be orders that I'm gonna be forced to take, and then some of them will send me out to a further spot that's just terrible. So I just turn it off, and to avoid that, I just drive all the way back to my spot. So I now don't have to turn down so many. But when I do turn one down, like, all right, if it's one out of every maybe 15 orders, I'll turn one is gonna be like, I'm not doing that one at all. And there might be one, because I always have about like 1% or 2% cancellation rate, two that I picked up, and like, let's say the McDonald's line was like 24 cars, I have to just line too long, not doing it. I'll get maybe two of those, but accepting them, you know what I mean? Like, but I know where I'm not going to accept orders. I know why I don't work over there. I've done all that work and data. I've gotten all that research. I know where I'm supposed to be.
So what I wanted to throw out there was, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it reminds me of this. When I went to community college, and I did this internship with the Oregon Department of Corrections, and within this thing they call the Oregon Accountability Model for the prison, for the inmate population, they implement this thing called evidence-based practices. So that's always stuck in my mind since school and for that internship, evidence-based practices. So that was the term that I think of, like with what you just said. That's the term I think of when Sin City was on there. Evidence-based practices. Figure out what the hell works and what doesn't work, and then adapt and overcome, right? I feel like coming in with the same old garbage every day, no tip, no trip, proact this, AB5. I know, we've heard you for months talk about these things. Now let's talk about how to adapt and overcome. Like, I don't need to hear this 30, 40, 50 damn times about all these laws or regulations or no tip, no trip. What do we do to adapt and overcome? And then I think that's where including the entire gig community and as a whole is extremely important. And I think also introducing really good evidence-based practices, like when to go, where to go, and when the bad times are. Evidence-based practices, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I will deliver into the ghettos of Anchorage, and the reason for that is because sometimes I earn better tips in those rough areas of town versus up on the hillside with $1 million homes. Sometimes I do, but through evidence-based practices, I also know it comes with a certain level of liability. I open myself up to maybe more 1 stars. I possibly open myself up to more fraud. I may open myself up to more crime, but I always go in there strapped and ready to deal with it. I carry bear spray for 4-legged animals. I carry me a nice little pew pew for 2-legged predators. I'm prepared for everything. And it just goes back to evidence-based practices, where you're not going to hear that unless you're listening to like you, Roy, and I'm drawing Sin City. So although, and here's the thing, right? I think part of the reason why they don't like the newer guys like you, I think part of the reason why Roy deserves 10 times the subs that he has, Yes. And he doesn't have them. And the reason why he's suppressed is because these people, they invite him, but they also, in a weird way, kind of put a cap on him. And where am I going with this? But basically, they just don't.
That's exactly what they do, and it's funny because Roy and actually Roy, I'm about to share your link. Roy, they get in there, and whenever Roy gets in there, they always say, "Oh, we should bring in Roy to talk to this guy." Roy will ask anything. Hold on, I think my son locked himself out. Yep. No, close it. Roy, what Roy does is they'll say, "Well, we need Roy to come and ask this guy some questions, right?" Roy will ask them. They're afraid to ask the questions, right? They'll use Roy to ask things, to get things out of someone, because they know that Roy has that ability to do that. Then they'll say, "Oh yeah, everyone likes Roy," but then they're not. What they are not doing with Roy is they are not sharing his link. They're not telling people, "Hey, go ahead and subscribe to Roy." Right. Roy has been sitting almost where he is. I've been trying to help out and stuff too, and it's moving up a little bit. If they are supposed to be a group and everyone's supposed to be moving together, a lot of those subscribers should be over there on Roy. If Hannibal has 3,000, Kim has all these, Roy should be at 1,000 right now. Bud Soda should be at 1,000 subs. This is how no one likes to watch his stuff. He's still sitting at 200 and something subs. Why are they not having their people go and subscribe to Bud Soda? Is because they know his level. They can't have Bud Soda up there as one of the mouthpieces on how we have it all set. You know what I mean? And they don't want Roy to get like that, because when you have 1,000 subs, more people are going to start subscribing to your channel. Roy has the ability, because of how frank he is and outspoken, he has the ability to have a whole lot of subscribers. And there is a whole lot of people in America who would love. Roy is like the Charles Barkley of the gig people. You know what I mean? Roy is the LeVar Ball of the gig people. There's people out there that would love that, but those people that are inside that club, they suppress that, like you say. Roy doesn't need to be suppressed. Roy needs to be let out and free. Roy needs that 1,000 subs. He should have way more subs. Like, it baffles me, because all of the things I speak about outside of the gig world, Roy comes right on and talks about those things with me. And that alone right there should show you the depth of the man's brain. Just that right there by itself.
It's true. I also think that so like another like Mr. Flex, for example, right? His style is interesting. Like, he's super chill, super calm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about it is, if we're discussing something, he'll just totally listen, and then he'll say, "Well, what about this?" Like, just real subtle. Like, "Well, have you ever thought of this? Or what about that?" I'm like, "No, actually, I never thought of it that way." So then, whatever the issue is, then it helps me to maybe look at something differently or do something differently. Where he's on, like, for example, he's on the opposite end of Top Dasher, and look what he does. So he's also living, breathing proof that you don't have to have Top Dasher to make it happen. So there's all these great people from both sides of the aisle, right? They can really deliver a message really well. And it doesn't matter, like, if you disagree with him, or he'll just basically, he's very inviting. He's not like shutting you down. I find that he is more helpful to maybe talk you through something, or just maybe throw something out there where it'll help you look at something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that necessarily from the other channels. I just get told, like the issue that kind of did it for me was when the issue that kind of did it for me when they're like, enough's enough, right? And my wife was like, "Don't worry about other people, just do you." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." You know, if they want to do their thing, let them, right? So I argue that we are not true independent contractors. I feel like we are employees that are misclassified. And I said, unless you've done A, B, and C and fulfilled your state's regulatory requirements to form an entity, whether it's sole proprietorship, a C corp, an S corp, an LLC, unless you've done those things and purchased the commercial insurance and the business liability insurance, unless you've done all those things, you're probably not an independent contractor. Okay. So there, so I'm just saying what happened. So I was on a panel one day with Roy. Roy and I are kind of on the same wavelength for the most part. I think, you know, he was understanding what I was saying, and these guys just didn't want to hear it. So I'm just talking like we're talking now. Mm-hmm. And I would not lie to anybody on here. I just wouldn't do that. And so Pedro comes in and does what he does best. Between 6 of you on the panel, no one's got any paperwork. Well, no, I'm right here in my fucking car. Like, I'm not carrying the damn paperwork. So then I responded with, well, who the hell is just walking around with the paperwork? But what I was saying was there is an Alaska Supreme Court decision out of 1987, and it's called Alaska Department of Labor v. Jeff Coat, and it had to do with basically strippers with a woman, whom of which was labeled as an independent contractor, and there ended up being this dispute between the club owner and the dancer. This whole thing got litigated and went all the way up to the Alaska Supreme Court. They ruled in her favor, and there was 6 main categories that the court touched on. And I said, if you read the Jeff Coat decision, okay, it provides a little guidance. So I just like I did with you, I verbally said it. I said, you can go read Jeff Coat. There's another famous case called McGinnis. All these things, go read it. You know what they did? They did exactly what I told you earlier with the body language. And no one wanted to fucking look. And then they started in with, well, you must be confused. They must have told you wrong. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. So what you attempted to do was completely discredit me and make me look like a damn fool or a liar. Mm-hmm. And I spoon-fed them the damn information. So I challenged them. I said, pull up Jeff Coat right now. Oh, well, that's an old 1987 decision. I went, Roe was 50 years old, and it was standing.
Yeah, come on now, people. We can go back and use these cases so that we can have a better representation on what we're doing, and these are actual factuals. That's why you can go back and use these. You can use these because it just. You can't. That's stupid. That's stupid saying the judgment on something was so long ago, but it's the same. Keep going. That bothered me.
So I told him. So one person was, well, that's almost 30 years old, and I'm like, so Roe was 50 years old, and it was law of the land until it was overturned. It was standing, flipping case law until it wasn't. So this is standing case law, and it hasn't been challenged. So then they're like, well, we want to be independent, and we this and we that, and we don't want to be. I said, so do I. I'm trying to make sure that we're doing this legally. So I don't want to get jammed up in anything. Okay. In my state, in order to deliver alcohol and tobacco, you have to have some kind of permit or license through the alcohol handling, whatever. I'm like, I'm not going through all that. So I spent $150 and had a 30-minute consultation with a lawyer, and the lawyer reaffirmed everything I said. So it was true. So I challenged him live. I said, well, you're here now. You have the viewers now. Let's just open up Jeff Coat and let's just start going through it. I'll even walk you through it. And they're like, just that the body language changed. The face skin got real tight and did all that. And I'm like, there you fucking go. Because so even if what you're doing is potentially wrong. The way I took it was, well, even if what you're doing is potentially wrong or potentially illegal, right? Like, wouldn't you want to cover your own ass? So if what you're doing is potentially illegal or wrong, it's okay as long as you can, get on the app, get off the app whenever you want, and be free. So it gets a pass. Yeah, no thanks. That's out. So the lawyer told me, he goes, well, you're likely an employee, you're just misclassified. But he goes, but whatever you do, this is what he told me, and this is only for Alaska. This isn't for anybody else. I can't speak for anybody else. Okay, to be very clear, if I am transporting alcohol or tobacco products for DoorDash and I'm taking it to somebody in Alaska, if I don't have the proper permit or license or whatever it is through our liquor control board, it is illegal and it is punishable up to $50,000 in my state. So that's out. So I'm like, what a damn disservice it was to all your viewers to not listen to what I had to say, to not at least entertain the idea and comb through the Jeff Coate decision to help other people around the nation. They came back and says, well, I've got like this lawyer on speed dial. Oh, he guarantees this is everything you're doing is legal. My next question, well, is he licensed to practice law in Alaska? If the answer is no, then I don't give a flying F what the guy has to say. So I went to a licensed practicing attorney here in Alaska. I paid $150 for a 30-minute consultation and got exactly what I said reaffirmed. So I even challenged him to look up the IRS definition of an independent contractor. No, they didn't want to do that either. So I'm like, cool. So lead all your people to slaughter. Good on you. And keep betting on you one day at a time. I'm sure that won't pay off one day. So keep it up. You do you, and I'll do us, and we can just. I don't want to be part of that. I don't have any disdain against them personally as people. I just feel like the messaging is
how they operate, their system,
right.
And how they operate. It's from the outside looking in. If
right.
you just come and click on the channel and you see them all up there, you see them laughing with each other. That's that. But like you said, they brought me in, and then once they saw what my whole agenda was, they were like, we really got to distance ourselves from him. You got a chance to get in there like me. So once you get in there and you see how it works, and it's like an unwritten rule they have, but they know exactly how it is. Once you see that, it's not good. It's not a good thing.
And again, I could be 100% wrong, because I'll say this over and over. I've been wrong before, but looking back on it, it's kind of a two-pronged issue for me. One, usually I'm a little bit better than that. I have my guard up a little bit more, but I just didn't. So but two, after the fact, looking backward, I kind of feel like it was disingenuous. It was more of a way to vet me or something flipping weird. And I don't know. I just know I'm not doing that again. So,
you feel free right now, and you feel free getting a chance to look at other channels and hearing some new and hearing some other information out there.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's the best thing, man.
At the end of the day, just to end it on this, I don't feel any like personal anything toward any of them. I think the messaging and the way they go about it is potentially, it's not very well rounded. I don't think it's balanced. I think you're just kind of getting one side of it, and I just think that does a real disservice for some people. So the one size fits all doesn't always fit all. So
yeah, we know that. So hopefully the next days, hopefully the next couple weeks, obviously there's going to be videos put up from all the camps that are trying to prove something. I know Steve brought in Nova Dasher yesterday, to talk about it just a little bit in the beginning. People are going to be putting out more videos. Hopefully within the weeks to come, with all the uploads coming from everyone out there that's trying to show something. Hopefully everyone could actually not ignore everyone's information, take a look at it, and really look at the stuff that's going on. For the people that already know what's going on, just be patient. Just be patient, and that is all you got to do. Everything will be all right. We're coming up on 2:35 right now. I think this will be a good spot to go ahead and end this, and we're going to do it like this. Any last words for the people out there, Cody? Any last words?
No. No, I mean, I'm just kind of boring like that. Not really. I mean, I just say just do what works for you, and I would never ostracize anybody for choosing to be a top dasher or a non-top dasher. I'm not an expert, so I certainly cannot give advice to anybody. I can only tell you what my experience is. Way out here, disconnected from the lower 48. I know it works here. And that's it. I just say, like this, or like with anything, just go in with an open mind and try to keep preconceived notions out of things. That's gotten me into a lot less trouble versus going into situations narrow-minded. That's all. So
right. All right, well, that's that, people. But before I leave, I gotta show you guys the video. I was supposed to get into this other gig stuff, but I gotta show you guys this right here. I gotta show you guys the title with the women still in the underwear. I gotta show you guys this. Now, people are trying to figure out what they can do to earn some extra money. You got people that do eBay. They know how to go ahead and do their thing. I'm going to show you guys what people are doing right now. Now, check this out. Check this out. Where is it at? All right. I'm going to go ahead and put this up. So I'm going to let you guys know what this is right here. Women are going and stealing men's underwear. Okay? They're stealing men's underwear, and we're going to see exactly what this is all about. If you're looking into a new gig, this might be a gig for you.
And complete coursework anytime, even if it's 3 a.m. That's why I choose WGU.
Bizarre crime wave is hitting Kohl's stores in Metro Atlanta.
The latest case in Noonan is where a trio of women walked out of the department store after stuffing merchandise into big bags and not paying for it. And as Fox 5's Doug Evans reports now, you might be surprised by what they are stealing.
Kohl's is a big store, a department store. And if you think about all the items that they sell, what one item do you think a theft ring might be interested in? Well, in this case, investigators say it's underwear, men's underwear, thousands of dollars worth of men's underwear. For the fourth time in Metro Atlanta, police say these three women entered a Kohl's store with the intent of stealing a large quantity of men's underwear. This was the Noonan store. Here the women are seen on surveillance cameras crouched over a display case in the men's department. Their quarry, according to the company, is Nike men's boxers. According to Kohl's website and the police report, a box of 3 normally sells for about $40. The women are accused of filling their big bags with $1,800 in Nike men's briefs and skipping the cash register on the way out.
These girls are walking in the store, filling up reusable shopping bags and walking out. Not a care in the world.
These 3 and possibly others are also accused of hitting Kohl's stores in Marietta, Woodstock, and McDonough. Their total take so far is over $6,000 in high-end men's boxers. Apparently not always Nike. If you have any information that can help in this investigation.
I told you guys, people. I told you guys, look. They're $32, okay? They're $32. You steal them, they're free. You go sell them things for $15, $20. They are coming up. Remember, it was hair weaves, all this other stuff. They are stealing underwear. But check. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. I go over a whole lot of news. Thank you for subscribing. Now check this out. People, there are people that go on eBay and they tell you, like, look, I go into Marshall's or Ross or whatever else it is. They go in there with their phone to scan to see how much the real price is. They'll buy them for this price here, and they're going straight to eBay and selling them for the price on what they ring up for, because that's what they show up on the computers. And they sell them like that. These people are going in there just stealing the stuff. They're just stealing the stuff. Okay? Just stealing it. That's crazy right there. I'm trying to bring this video up right here. It has not popped up. I want to see this dude. I want to see this this delivery driver that has the let me see if I can bring this up. Let me see. No, I can't. They have the video there, but it's not popping up. Some guy, the Amazon delivery driver, I guess he had an order that had 326 packages, 180 stops. Smiley says, counting on over 21 giant bags of packages, and the video is not popping up. So 326 packages, 180 stops, and I think the dude just went. I think he just went nuts. Like, he went nuts. Like, I'm not doing this job. But the video is not popping up. But oh, is this it? I think I got it.
I just want y'all to witness the pure fuckery that is going on in this damn van, because I don't know how they put one person to deliver 326 packages, 180 stops. Like, look at this fuckery in this van. Look how many fucking bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's times 2, 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21. What the hell? And then to make it worse, the damn people at the warehouse, the big boss, them, whatever the hell they want to call them, the warehouse worker. Why is the warehouse manager one dirty, stinking, nasty, just rank up, just mayonnaise, dirty attitude? This lady is so crusty, like.
I don't know. At first, let me tell you this. At first, I thought he was a straight up down dude. Then he looked like Melvin Gouillard, the MMA fighter. Then I was like, how come he didn't dye his hair the same color as his beard? Then he broke out into Jamaican talk. He was mad at that order, but that's what you get when you sign up to the territory. Now, check this out. If he was on Amazon Flex, he would have got paid more money for that same load. Yes, he would have got paid way more money for that same load. Now, I want to know if he got fired, because there was another guy that got fired for doing something else like that. We'll go ahead and see about that. I'm going to read this one right here. This is on. It says a duo still. I got to share every single screen so everyone knows it's real news. All right, duo steals cigarettes from delivery driver at gunpoint near Summit County store. So it says, and this is in Akron. Akron, man, in Ohio, it goes down. Those first-time felons that down there, that's the name of a group, and they go nuts. Police are looking for the duo responsible for robbing a delivery driver at gunpoint Monday afternoon at an Akron market. The two men have not been identified, according to Lieutenant Mike Miller of the Akron Police Department. The robbery happened at around 2:30 p.m. at the Lovers Lane Market, located at the 1000th block of Lovers Lane, according to a department press release. The 52-year-old delivery driver was dropping off merchandise at its market while his partner was inside the store. The release said the two men were wearing ski masks, approached the driver and demanded the merchandise after pulling out a gun. The release said. It said the men took an undisclosed amount of cigarettes and left the area in a nearby parked car. The release said anyone with information has been asked to call the Akron Police Department Bureau at 330-375-2490. 330, is that Mike Jones or something? It's an ongoing investigation, but this is the stuff that Cody was talking about, what me and Roy talk about. People, when you are doing these deliveries, you are a target at all time. Cody said he's got bear spray, mace, all type of stuff, and he's got guns. Protect yourself. And there's crazy Karens out there that try to fight you. You got to use bear spray on some of those grizzlies right there. Yeah, the world is gone super mad. Now I'm going to show this one right here. Go ahead and pull this one up. There goes a pretty good one. This one is on. Okay. Yeah, Karens are ridiculous. Karens and Keiths, all, you know, I don't want to say Keith. I'll call them Kens. Amazon driver shoots man, he say came at him with a knife in Middletown, okay? A man was shot early Sunday morning by an Amazon delivery driver when he apparently pulled a knife on the driver, according to the Middletown police. The incident happened shortly before 5 a.m. in the 4500 block of Central Avenue. The delivery man said a man came out of nowhere with a knife and moved towards him, said Sergeant Earl Nelson. That is when the delivery driver shot the man in the leg. At least he said, I'm going to shoot you in the leg. You better stop. The Amazon guy was delivering packages. A man came out of nowhere wearing a knife. We think Strug out on meth. Okay, so the Amazon driver fired at him in the leg. If he's on meth, he didn't feel nothing. Nelson said the man who was shot fled the area and was eventually found by officers and transported to the Atrium Medical Center for treatment. At about 5 p.m. Sunday, officers received a call for the area of Rosendale Road at Magnolia Drive involving the same man who had been shot. He walked out of the hospital without permission and was acting strangely, according to the police report. Witness said that the man was trying to get in the sewers. Wow. When officers arrived, the man was gone, but officers continued to search the area, finding a walkway through the tree line towards a creek bank. The man was found in the creek, flailing in the water underneath some logs. That dude's crazy. They have to get that. I don't want to read no more of that. That dude's crazy. You can be approached. She said, I block Karens. No Karen zone. This dude was so crazy. People, you will run into crazy people when you're doing deliveries. People walking up to you at weird times. That's why my wife, she don't like to order or she don't like to do this stuff at late night. Somebody will do some nuts and I'll shoot him. Let me see. That dude was, they said he tried to go into the sewer. Then they found him flailing in the water and talking crazy. They had, put that, regular jail won't work. You got to put him inside some type of treatment center. Now this one is, we got a delivery driver that might be nasty. Let's check this out. Nasty delivery drivers. Delivery driver arrested on suspicion of sexual assault. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. A Rosenberg delivery driver is in the Douglas County Jail accused of sexually assaulting a 73-year-old customer. According to a report from the Rosenberg Police Department, Robert Dale Reed is accused of 1 count of unlawful sexual penetration in the first degree and 2 counts of first-degree sexual abuse after an alleged interaction with the victim. Reed is reported to be a delivery driver for a hometown drug pharmacy. Oh, what a scumbag creep. Pharmacy, older people, drugged up. Oh, this dude's nasty. That's all they have there. Man, that's all they have there from this story here, and I'm glad they don't have any more. Yeah, I'm glad. So people, my dad just turned 7. Well, my dad don't turn 70 until the 14th, but my daughter just turned 6 the other day, so we did my dad's birthday thing with my daughters, and my dad just turned 70 years old. Now, my dad is on the good side of 70, though. My dad can probably still go out there and give you some buckets. There is a bad 70 years old, like 70 and almost out of here, 70. It's wrong either way, no matter what, in 70 or out 70. It's wrong. But there are some people at 70 that, you know, they still out there doing the thing. You're preying on women, period, which is wrong. You deserve to get DP'd. But at the same time, 73 years old. I don't know about you, but they have to have him locked up away from the regular people. How old was this dude? 50? Was it? It was something. I think that was the one before. Disgusting. Women, learn to protect yourself. When you get to a certain age, you know you have a door, keep that spray right there to be able to spray somebody out. You're not physically strong enough to do anything but you can scream, hit that life alert button, and spray. We got creeps out there. And this is what I always say. We have bad delivery drivers who give delivery drivers a bad name. They give couriers a bad name. We have ones that are not good at business. We have ones that are not good just being a moral, ethical human being, obviously, as you can see. This is why when at least when I talk about these jobs that we go out there and do, we are more personable with people, different people every single day, which is why more people should be more business-minded when they're doing this thing. If you were a bad employee before you start doing this, you were a bad employee while doing this. If you were one of the people at your job that was getting complaints by women for sexual harassment and being a pervert, you're going to see so many different people doing this job, you are still going to be a pervert. Okay? We have these people that are mixed in, our economy people, in the jobs that we do. We get a lot of bad raps for these people. But just know that when you are out there and you are doing your thing, there is somebody that's watching at all times, okay? Do the right thing all the time. For those who joined me late, I start at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead and let's try to get on in here a little bit earlier. I got some real good news coming tomorrow. We got some people that have done some dumb stuff to police and they deserve to be laughed at on camera. We will be doing that tomorrow. Any reaction videos that have gone on over the things that we've done the past couple of days will be talked about. But other than that, we're back on the regularly scheduled programming. People, we are just on a reaction from the ones that hate us. Outside of that, you guys know what I do. Until the next caper. We're going to sign out here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. And I'm going to play my favorite beat right now. I'm actually going to be writing a song with this one. My favorite beat right now, sent to me from Navy 380. Big ups there, Cuzzo. That's my personal producer. It's all my music here, people. I'm gonna let you guys feel this little vibe he has going on.